Oh. Oh, interesting. There's no sound here. That's no good. There we go. Ah, we have music. Okay. Okay, let's get this all set up. Get this up and a running. We will get to it. Welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is time for the viewer suggested, the draw stream, the live thing that we do on Wednesdays. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. Get a little more going on here. A little more entertainment. That's not what I meant to say. Unamaku, hello, hello. Welcome in. We're all set up here. Abrai, hello, hello. Happy birthday to anyone born today. Congratulations. Happy birthday. Yes, indeed. It's not your birthday, is it? Is it secretly your birthday and that's how you're celebrating by wishing other people happy birthday? Because that would be awesome. Nope. Okay, well, that's fine. Apparently I can't post on Instagram anymore, so... I mean, I can. I just, like, it's not doing what I wanted to do for my computer, so we're gonna say screw it. And the people from Instagram don't get to hang out with us today, apparently. Unless they randomly discover that we're streaming, so... That could happen, who knows. Let's do some art. Let's do some art. How is everybody today? I hope you're doing well. We're here, okay. Hope everybody had a fine start of the week. Everybody is amped up for the weekend. If you were around yesterday, we were working on a commission, which I'm pretty amped about. I'm excited to finish that up. Got a new video out last week for Hero Points. I was kind of hoping there would be more people wanting to talk about Hero Points, but most people either know what they are or just don't care, which is sad. My birthday was a very long... Oh, my birthday was a very long time ago at this point. I just cut a leg off and kept... It's no good if I can't read them. I wonder how that works on the VOD. I wonder if it shows it and then erases it, or if it just leaves it redacted the whole time. Kind of assume it would be redacted, but I don't know. I cannot see this. I need to move this. Hold on a second. Let's put the YouTube chat over here. Then the Discord over there. That's better. Test. Yes. Okay. I can see you. I was thinking about it the other day. I think I would like to get somebody to interview or talk to or like draw with me on this channel, but I don't exactly know who I would invite. So if you guys have suggestions, please let me know. There are some guys over at the DMs Roundtable who might be interested. I might send out some feelers over there, but oh, is that a test to see if it's on the VOD? Yeah, I don't know how that works. We'll have to see. If you rewind, does it keep the chat add a natural timestamp, or does it actually like? Does it actually show it? George Washington. I don't think I can invite George Washington. Plus, that might be a little too political. Washington showed up. I own slaves and have wooden teeth, but I'm apparently a cool dude. How old was George Washington when he was president? Wasn't he like... I don't even know if he was in his 30s, was he? He had to have been. Time is a weird thing. Like, weird shit has happened in the last, what, 200 years? $300 years? It's been almost 300 years. Goldtooth, hello, hello. Did I start too early today? When nobody's around? I mean, not that you guys are nobody. It's just usually we have people screaming in the chat by now. I've got quite a few on the list today, which I'm excited about. We'll have to see where that goes. If you reload the chat, the redacted messages are gone. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Oh, the heater just kicked on. It's getting cold. It's getting cold out there, and I'm excited. Should we do a squat rugby today? Because it's cold. So he curls up in his, in his poncho. Get your mind's out of the gutter. Manauta, hello, hello. What we got going? Coleman Jones. We're doing the viewer suggestion today, so we've got a list of people's suggestions from the week. We're gonna draw some D&D characters. Right now, I'm warming up with a rugby. There's a little goblin. Always draw a little rugby every morning. If people have suggestions for their D&D characters, you're welcome to put them in the chat. I'll add them to the list, and then we'll roll a die, and we'll see what we draw. 57 years old, and at first he didn't even want to become president. He was talked into it by the founding fathers. 57? Really? I thought he died at like... I thought he died in his late 30s. The guy was old. Keep getting older, and I like see people that achieve things way earlier in life. It's just like, damn, I gotta get on that. Of course, like, I guess I'm always trying to live up to Markiplier, and I'll never do that, and I'm older than him, so there's that. I think you should interview Rugby and ask him in-depth questions that delve into his innermost thoughts. I don't know if he has innermost thoughts. I mean, it's just like, what's the meme? What's in that head? Is it a brain? Nope, just floof. I think that is inherently Rugby. Just nothing but goblin floof. Oh, that's off-putting. Oh no, it's fine. Okay. I thought there was something sticky on my glass, but it was just like, so I don't know what that was. Not there now. Very strange. I thought Rugby didn't want to be president, but he got talked into it. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what happens. You know? All the good leaders don't want to be leaders. They just are. Goes for Rugby's. We'll give him a presidential stance today. Just super wide. How important. Do I need to do more TikToks of Rugby just saying dumb shit? Is that what I'm missing? Is that what I have not capitalized on? Put out a TikTok yesterday of the Hero Point video and like, yeah, nobody watches them. It's just like, man, why do I do this? I don't think I need to do this. We should focus on something more entertaining. We should do something on YouTube Shorts that's like uniquely us. And I don't know what that would be, but we'll think about it. And we'll figure it out. That would sell, trust me, bro. All right. Well, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we start doing Rugby. God, do I have to make a Rugby puppet now? Oh my god, I would love to do that. You should make YouTube Shorts with a Rugby puppet. Full circle. My life has come full circle. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good on this Rugby sketch. This is a good warm-up. I feel pretty good. I got that nice pen control. Just get some lines in there. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're ready. So the way this works, for those of you who are new, is I have a list. I have a list of all the D&D characters people have suggested. If you have a suggestion, you're welcome to add it to the list. Just say it in chat, and I will put it on there. I'm going to roll a die, and whatever number comes up, that's what I will draw. And that's how it's going to go. There's also a link in the Discord if you would like to draw with me. You're welcome to come hang out. Assuming you can follow the rules of the Discord and are okay with your stuff being posted on the YouTube. Because, as you know, I gotta ask. It's just that's how it works. Gold Tooth coming Rugby sock puppet. Because, of course, sock puppet. I did do that one sock puppet animation. That was pretty fun. I can see Gold Tooth coming along with just arguing with Rugby for certain things about what type of creature he is. Like ghouls and goblins don't get along. I don't know if Rugby would talk about being a goblin. I think he just wants to be a bugbear. So maybe he would talk about that. Maybe he'd talk about goblins and kobolds. But like half-assed. Or like off the cuff, I guess. I'm entertained by the Rugby chatter. Has he been played? No, not yet. Like, I haven't actually made him as a character. I tried a few times, but, like, you know, never meet your heroes. Partially because if I do that, then I think people will, like, try to do that. And as long as I never actually make him as a character, I can't tell people they built him wrong. Or vice versa, you know, like, there's no one way for Rugby to go. Nope, I forgot his earring. There we go. He's a goblin. He's a high-level goblin. Wearing a bugbear rug as a costume. Can I get a refresher on the Rugby lore? Sure. Does chat want to hit the Rugby lore, or should I do it? Because there's a few different stories. Let me get this first dice rolled, and then I'll start talking. Where's my dice? Dice. Oh, that's not good. Where's my dice? That is very strange. Oh my god. Okay. I need a D12 today. There we go. A human sailor swashbuckler who has his entire right side of his head encased by a growth of crystals. Alright. I like that. Crystal pirate. Right side of his head is crystals. I don't remember how he became your mascot. I mean, I know I've been following you for like 3 years. I just can't remember how it started. Why isn't there a channel in the Discord dedicated to Rugby lore and updates? I mean, I think that's just the meme chat. I think everything in the meme chat is Rugby lore. I think it was Jonas and Rookzer0, that's me, just ran. It's weird reading my own name. I've never done that before. That was strange. Just random drawings. Damn, I'm looking at getting my characters. Nice. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Rugby lore. So yeah, it was something Jonas and I had started making fun of because we were making puppets. We were drawing puppets. And we were drawing goblins and kobolds. And I was salty because I had like 2 weeks after the kobold video, which helped my channel grow quite a bit, where people were just suggesting I draw kobolds nonstop. And essentially what happened is I thought it would be funny if there was a kobold dressed as a goblin. And then I was like, wait, better, what if a goblin was like made leather products out of kobolds just to like spite the kobold community? And so I made the kobold vendor, who was a goblin that was wearing a kobold costume, and then his apprentice was Rugby, who was a goblin wearing a bugbear costume made out of a rug on like a bugbear rug. So I thought a bugbear rug would be a rugby, and I thought that was funny. A rugbear. Rugby is a bugbear with a rare genetic disorder that makes him look like a goblin, so he overcompensates by having a bugbear. So it's just bugbears all the way down. That could be pretty funny. But no, that's the long story of it. Like, that's the Jonas Hips. Check him out on Twitch. We were goofing around and we made a whole bunch of goblins and kobolds wearing costumes of other creatures. And Rugby kind of stuck, and we just kept drawing him because he was funny. Excuse me. Can't talk now. I remember now, and I'm sorry that I've tortured you all these many years with nothing but kobold-related things. Kobolds, like, there's a huge community for people that love kobolds on the internet, which surprised me. I did not know about that before I started doing this channel. I had always liked kobolds as, like, the furry little dog critters that dragons eat. And D&D kobolds were always kind of like, I thought of them as goblins a lot of the time. And yeah, they have their own huge community, which I think is fun. Human. Okay, he's a human with a crystal face. Crystal face, huh? Should we give him like a mask that's crystal? Or should we just have like, did his face get frozen by a crystal dragon or something? It's just like cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Well, only part of it is crystal.
So
you
like,
could do like Phantom of the Opera style crystal.
But like, what's underneath it? Is like his eyeballs crystals and his teeth crystals on that side, or is it just like a case? How are you doing, Corvus, by the way?
Okay. I was gonna say, what does the suggestion say?
It just says right side of the face.
Yeah. Does it say encased or covered?
Now I have to look. Oops. A human sailor swashbuckler who has his entire right side of his head encased by a growth of crystals. So I guess it's growing out of his face. I was just gonna give him a little like swashbuckling sword, but I think I'm gonna focus on the face. That seems to be the more important part. Dog kobolds are good. Yeah, I like them. That was more extensive than I thought I was going to be, but funny. Yeah. The other fun stuff to add about Rugby is, so he's the stock boy, but he never shows his hands, so that's always funny. And then he's got a. Did we ever decide what the shop was across the street that the kobold vendor hates, where Pugby works?
I don't know if we ever decided.
I don't know if it was ever clearly defined.
Because Pugby is now an inventor in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Yeah,
we did make Pugby. Pugby was pretty funny. I really like the Pathfinder 2 kobolds. Like, they're adorable. I love them. I've also expanded the playlist today, so there should be some new music popping up.
Will Savino is the guy that did all this music, and his Patreon's been a little quiet lately. But then I discovered that it's because he started another Patreon where he's building entire modules for Foundry, which is pretty awesome. So if you guys are looking for D&D art, hashtag not a sponsor, go check him out. That's Roll D20 or Will Savino on YouTube. Should be a link down below. It's good stuff.
Hashtag partnership?
Yeah. Hashtag sponsor, not sponsored. Yeah, so we're going to be listening to some new music today, and I might be jumping around through it. I'm trying to make a playlist that I really enjoy. We'll see how it goes. I didn't realize how big the community was until I accidentally joined it by making my character. That's now pretty much my own mascot. I didn't know we did. Sorry, Goldtooth, I'm a little lost on that one. I didn't realize how big the community was until I accidentally joined it by making my character. I'm a little confused, but yeah, Goldtooth is essentially synonymous with your brand now. I think we've done 1 or 2 commissions of it, which is fun. Sorry, I don't know why I have a frog in my throat today. It could be the heater. I might need to vacuum out my heater vents. That time of the year. They kicked on yesterday, and Skipcat just decided, well, now I'm going to go live under a chair, because we have a chair on top of one of the heater vents. And that's just where he stayed for most of the day. Crystals growing out of somebody's face that's a tough one. I do like the Phantom of the Opera idea, though. Maybe we have way more crystals. We give him a big cape. It's not super swashbucklery, but I bet we could do it. I bet we could come up with something here.
Swashbucklers wear capes?
Yeah, but not like the Phantom of the Opera cape.
Oh. I'll give you that one.
Let me play you my harpsichord of death. It's just a sword. Oh, it's a harpsichord. I think we were talking about the Kobold community lore. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You didn't realize how big the Kobold community was until you actually joined it. Gotcha. This eye is too high? There are definitely little pockets of different niches of D&D, which I think is really interesting. Which maybe it's just, I don't know, preferential treatment on the internet, but lizard folk, kobolds. There's actually a big group of bugbear people, which made me interested. I didn't know that.
The smallest of all niches.
Yeah.
The gnome niche.
The gnome niche.
Because so many people hate gnomes.
There's a lot of gnome hate out there. I think part of that might be from from World of Warcraft and stuff, but
yeah,
I'm not a fan of Warcraft gnomes.
Even Matt Colville hates gnomes.
I still don't understand the gnome. I'm fine with gnome characters. I don't care. But, I always assumed that gnomes were the replacement for hobbits. Yeah. But then...
No.
but halflings are that. And so it's okay, halflings are hobbits, and gnomes are
people goblins? Like, why aren't they just goblins? And it always broke me a little on the inside. It's just like, I guess if you have humans and orcs, or elves and orcs, depending on how you want to look at it, and then you have goblins and gnomes, and then hobgoblins and people. I'm not sure how it, like, what the dichotomy is.
See, I've always compared, like, halflings are, I think this may be Tolkien lore or something, or people's expanded Tolkien lore, that, like, hobbits / halflings, they're the same, evolved from, like, actual monkeys.
Oh, that
While
would be
humans
funny.
evolved from apes, like chimps and stuff, so hence why they're smaller. And I've always thought of gnomes as being the small cousins of elves.
Tiny capuchins. I could see that. I could see them being like. I mean, because they're supposed to be. The other thing I liked is that, like, when they were Fey inspired, right? Which I think they currently are in 5e. I like that too, because then it's like, okay, so you have the elves, which are like the quintessential Fey folk.
The fair folk.
The fair folk, and then like all the subclasses of fairy that kind of like trickle down through that, from like sprites to pixies, and then it makes sense that there would be like an intermediate there. So that I like that idea. I could see that being, but like I feel like that would make them way more Fey inspired, and you should really lean into it.
Well, that's what Pathfinder does.
Yeah,
They're just straight up Fey that migrate across the Veil to material plane, and some are more Fey than others.
Really? Okay, I somehow missed that. Maybe it's because I don't look into gnome lore.
I like gnomes. I'm one of few people that are in the gnome community. Because like, I always thought of like the dwarves, halflings, and gnomes as small versions of the 3 archetypes: warrior, mage, and rogue.
Sure.
As well. So like, dwarves are quintessentially the warrior, halflings are the rogue, and gnomes are the mage aspect of it.
Yeah, there is a pretty good like all int, no body. I could see that.
Yep.
I could see that being a good like rationalization of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the elves are supposed to be like perfect, so they embody everything.
Mm-hmm. Because they have so many years, they can just take their time to learn everything.
the gnome community sounds like a cult. People really into gardening. Yeah, that's true. We forgot about the gardening. What was the other? There's a maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but there's a
Garden gnome community?
garden gnome community. Oh yeah, it's just a whole bunch of old ladies like drinking tea. I got the new one that's in the bathtub. I feel like the garden gnome community is really just secretly hiding like butt jokes everywhere.
Totally.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, like, so I keep seeing hashtags for like goblin core and cottage core. They're just like making houses and rooms very, very cozy. And that always makes me think of like the little tiny gnome, like garden gnome.
I mean,
paintings and stuff.
that is an alternative name for them, is gnome core.
Yeah. And so. I like that aspect of it, but like at that point then they're tiny, right? They're not 2 feet tall. They're maybe a foot tall, and I like that aspect too. I think that would be interesting. Yeah. And that's gonna be an interesting way to take gnomes, is to actually make them smaller than than halflings.
Mm-hmm. It's just what's the whole weird thing is, like, according to like the height stats they give them in both Pathfinder and in D&D, gnomes are taller than halflings.
Right, and that's I think the thing that bothers me about them. It's like why they're just, what are you doing? Are they dwarves or are they halflings?
Well, dwarves are medium, which is weird.
Yeah.
To me. Like, I figured they would be small because they got 25 feet of movement.
Well, they're also bulky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, they are.
Barrel chested.
Yeah.
What's dwarves are supposed to be like, what, 4.5 feet, 5 feet tall at the most?
Yeah, I think.
So like they're not too much shorter than humans, but
Like, I think 5 foot would be the max height of like a dwarf
Mhm.
male, and that's probably like.
and like proportion wise though, they should be big.
Yeah.
So they're big, bulky, but short. Those are bulky and poster boys for short kings. Yeah, there you go. It's strange how similar they are, and yet the origins are vastly different. Yeah. That is kind of the weird thing about it. Especially when you look at things like, if you go back and look at some of my older videos when I did a lot more like lore digging, kobolds, goblins, and gnomes are essentially all the same. Like they're just little creatures that
Live underground.
or in trees or in forests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna draw a basket here, and I think we're probably gonna call it after that, and move on to the next one because I'm not really sure where I'm going with this one.
How the GNC system works is pretty much anything under 1 foot is tiny, anything from 1 to 3 feet is small, anything from 4 to 6 medium, 7 above is large. Which is weird because of like 5 races that are taller than 7 foot. Yeah, 5e purposefully got rid of large size creatures to make their settings more uniform.
So the second edition Pathfinder,
Yeah.
there's no large.
Yep, and I will argue beyond that. I think Pathfinder was a little more transparent about why they did it, which I appreciate, but I mean that might also spawn just from me bitching about it on the internet. So hopefully maybe I had a little bit of an influence on that. Probably not, but yeah, no, my problem with 5e is that people take it a little too religiously. And so Pathfinder did basically say, hey, we did this for a reason, which is the same reason that 5e did it, so that our modules are balanced, and if you don't change anything from the book, it should run just fine. But at your DM's discretion, change all of it. And so I think that's smart. I very much like large-sized creatures and tiny creatures in play. It adds a lot of dynamics to combat and problem solving.
Like, they kept tiny creatures, because sprites are tiny.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mistakenly thought they had a large gnoll, but they don't. They just say they are large, but you're still considered medium.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Mechanically, you're a large, or non-mechanically, you're a large-sized creature, but mechanically, it doesn't change anything. It's like, well,
You're
that's
just
stupid.
You're just a big bulky gnoll.
Yeah.
Because in previous editions, like being a large-sized creature added, it changed your stats. It was another layer of template addition, which was complicated, but I think they could get away with it. And I hope they do add that. Like when they come up with they're coming up with a D&D Beyond system for Pathfinder. I hope they re-add those templates so you can just be like, this is a large-sized person, or I'm casting a large person, bloop, and that is now effective permanently. So you're not allowed to have a race that's above 7 feet, and why play a Goliath barbarian that has to be under 7 feet? Yeah. I think once again, just to be careful, by the rules of the game, if you're following the rules, you're not allowed. That's the issue I have with 5e. Is like that's not how that's supposed to work. It's a suggestion for balancing, and the 5e doesn't give enough talk to your DM, right? It doesn't say like at DM's discretion. It doesn't give those options, and I think so. A lot of people take it as just like, nope, it has to be, and it's like it doesn't. It just doesn't. Comes an issue during D&D is when weapons get involved. Yeah, I mean that's part of it, right? Like, so if you're a large-sized creature, normal-sized weapons are small for you. Like that is just how it is. Large monsters have extra reach. Yeah. Yep, and that's like one of the things with like bugbears.
I'm amazed that bugbears made it through though. Like, see, I don't really think of bugbears being large. Being big, but
bugbears are supposed to be big, and they have huge arms. Like that.
Yeah.
That used to be the big thing. Is like if drawing bugbear arms.
Yep, Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch Armstrongs. Giant gorillas. I always think of bugbears as gorillas.
Yeah.
You got the fangs and everything. Look, I guess gorillas don't really have fangs, but they have big, sharp canines.
Those are fangs.
They don't have protruding fangs. I'll say it that way.
Yep.
5e large monsters have extra reach. In 5th edition, large monsters have an extra d6 of damage. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like from the monsters? If they're larger, they get more damage?
Yeah, that's... They get longer reach, so whereas normally the 5-foot square, it's a 10-foot square.
Mm-hmm.
And they also get, like, increased damage die. So it's like, makes sense not to give players that.
So I'm okay with that kind of stuff if you follow the old rules.
And part of that is like I said, upscaling. So like if you're a large sized creature, you have to spend more money on armor. You have to spend more money on weapons because they're more expensive. It also makes them harder to find. But because of that, you gain bonuses from it. So like damage resistance from armor, as well as weapons getting a higher damage die. And usually what I do is I just bump it up one stat, like one set. So if you have a D4, you can go to a D6, and then a D8, and then a D8, D10, and then I think you go 2D8, or is it 2D6? It might go D12, then 2D6.
I think so, because great axes are a D12, and then great swords are 2D12.
Except the problem with that is that doesn't actually increase your damage; it increases your range. Because now your average is going to go from being flat to being like this. It's a different distribution, so this will always have a higher distribution for it. Versus going from like a D6 to a 2D4 does the same thing. It's going to raise your lowers, but it's not going to increase your height. So I think Pathfinder 2nd Edition now what they're doing is just they're doubling the die, which is dangerous, but also interesting. I think it's like, oh, do an additional die of damage.
Well, sometimes. So if you're a War Priest cleric,
yep.
And your divine weapon is a simple weapon, you don't double its dice, but you scale the dice up. So if it's a D6, it's now a D8 of damage. So that is all. So they're doing both, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, and some of that makes sense. So like with the shield, for my...
Sorry.
No, you're right. I think what you said was fine. For my Konrasu, I have the shield specialization. When you take the feat for specialization, what it does is instead of like making the shield up the die, or that's what it does, it ups the die instead of doubling it, which I thought was interesting. So like once you become specialized in it, you do more damage with certain weapons, and I like that. I like that a lot. Is that what you just said? I'm sorry. My brain.
Yes,
Okay.
that is. Though I was referring as mainly with a lot of like simple weapons I've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I think the scaling up of dice.
which I think it is based on proficiency. I think they're trying to make it not just like, oh, you're a martial class weapon. It's like, shouldn't you be more effective with a dagger than someone that's not then? It's like, good point. So I think they are trying to give proficiency a little more oomph. But then, so let me catch up on chat here. You have an extra damage die for each size you go up. Okay, cool, yeah. So a huge longsword is a 3d8. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. Because the thing with that is, like, an ogre swinging a sword should be doing more damage than a human swinging a sword. Especially if the sword is sized for the ogre, which makes total sense. And so I think part of the things that people are worried about is if you have a large-sized creature using a smaller weapon, it should technically, like, you either count it as a large-sized short sword or a regular-sized sword, which should be the same amount of damage. Because it's all about like variables and sizes. And an issue with that is that people would then be like, well, I'm a human or I'm a kobold, which this is something that I used to see a lot. People would be small creatures and then they would try to wield like giant great swords. And it's like, that thing is bigger than your body. Like, you have the strength for it, I guess, sure. Can you wield it effectively? No. So I will let people do that. I will absolutely let people do that in game. I have in the past. One of Jonas's characters was a tiny kobold with a huge great sword, and I made him roll disadvantage because I thought it was funny. It was like, yeah, if you want to use that, you can, and you get the bonus damage dice for it, but it's gonna be tough. Uh-oh. There we go. I think we're gonna move on here. I've lost the plot a little bit on this character because I got distracted. Crystals, coats. Let's get this mantle fixed up. We'll give him a little bit of a. Yep. I don't want to spend too much time on all these today, but we'll have to warm up a little bit more, I guess. Apparently, I can draw lots of rugbies, but drawing human swashbucklers is tougher than I had anticipated. Give him some. I should have given him some armor here. Maybe if we give him another. Yeah, okay, that'll help. I like rapiers as a general weapon, but drawing them is just it's difficult.
Yeah,
because they're so thin.
Yeah, and the whole idea of rapier where they're made not to have a huge blade presence.
Yeah. Gotta be light.
Oh, they weigh the same as a longsword.
Really?
But actually some weigh more than longswords.
Well, longswords don't weigh that much, is the thing. Like,
yeah, it's about
5 pounds.
2 to 3 pounds.
It seems light to me, but
swords were a lot lighter than people think, but a rapier was the same weight, but all the weight was distributed into the hilt. Which allowed you do more potent thrust.
There was a guy that was talking about lightsabers, and he's like, everybody that has ever been on a TV show or movie with lightsabers have always wielded them as if they have weight, which is interesting. I like that idea. And so they always swing them as if the sword has weight because they're using like a wooden dowel or a bar, and they have to. Because otherwise, if it didn't have weight, you could literally just hold it like a flashlight and just whip it back and forth until the person died. And it was like, all right. So that's funny. Let me see what's going on. Lauren, hello. Zachary, welcome in as well. Let's see. If size was really a thing in Dungeons and Dragons, then dragons would literally be invincible along with cloud giants, and demons and devils have huge categories because you wouldn't be able to do any damage to them. One of their flicks, stomp, screams, even weapons. I mean, yeah, that's something I miss. I do miss about that because most things, especially dragons, used to have like DR10, DR15, so you had to do at least 15 damage to it before they took any damage, which, in my mind, is a good safeguard for low-level encounters, because in I'm gonna roll the new dice while I talk. That's why in 5th edition you can fight things a lot more uniformly across levels. The CR doesn't matter as much because they don't have those stipulations. But like in older editions, if you fought a level 15 dragon, a level 7 character can't do damage to them. Like it's really hard to actually hurt them. And so it puts a lot more pressure on the DM, but I think it's a little more rewarding when you get through that kind of stuff. A Rune Knight Aarakocra. It looks like a Eurasian owl, eagle owl, wielding a large maul and wearing a scary mask to look more threatening. So it's an eagle wearing a mask. I don't know what a Eurasian eagle owl is, but I dig it. We will draw that.
Pretty big owls, I'm pretty sure.
Are they big owls? CR is a joke. I agree. Challenge rating is a guide, not a rule, law set, or straight up thing. Even if you play Adventure League, CR is a meme. Yeah, it really, because the problem with CR is it's based solely on everything in the book. So if you have like a pre-generated character or a character that is perfectly balanced, then it makes sense. And it makes sense for people who are competent and functional in their character, but not exceptional. So CR makes sense if you have, basically if you let an AI just run a basic campaign where nothing weird happens and everything is by the book and it's just die rolls and numbers, CR works. But the thing is, people have magical weapons, people have just crazy shenanigans, teamwork makes a big difference, environment changes CR. I mean, everything has to be taken into account. Can never get the owl snake image out of my head. What is it? I don't know what that means. Aarakocra. Okay, Aarakocra is pretty funny. I like Aarakocra. My party literally killed the goddess of evil. Goldtooth, you have a whole party of level 20 characters with massive amounts of broken gear. Like you should be fighting level 30 stuff. You should be fighting level 30 stuff, and half of your party should die. Like, to make it fair. Like, CR is not, the book is not designed for your party.
Yep, y'all fall into a pit of rust monsters that destroy all your armor.
Yeah, seriously. Like, you guys need a hardcore, like, global reset.
I mean, essentially why all the demon princes were made.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with the Tomb of Annihilation, right? Like, there's a point where the game is not designed for your characters anymore, and because of that, the DMs just start, destroying shit. And as long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. But that's also like Pathfinder came up with mythic levels, which is really fun. I like that concept, where you can go to level 25. I'm not sure how I feel about this music. I don't know if I want snappy jazz.
I'll pop it. I'll pop it off this. Teamwork. Have your marshals help you microwave a go. I mean, the Ghostbusters did it, so I'm not saying that you can't fight gods. I'm just saying.
Someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
You say yes.
Essentially, what all level 20 characters are demigods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Anybody past level 5 is I feel like level 5 is kind of like peak human form, and then anything beyond that is just like world breaking power levels. Because at level 10, like, you can destabilize an entire country. Level 15, you can break a world's economy with magic.
Only if you let it, though.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. So that's really where all of this stuff spawns from. Is people like, hey, why can't I just make infinite gold and teleport it everywhere? It's like, well, you can. Like you can. that's kind of the thing. But why do you want to do that?
Why let economics ruin your games?
Yeah, exactly. Like that doesn't sound fun to me.
Because it's like, if you think about like, no one's getting paid in gold, like outside of Heroes. No one's getting
Yeah.
paid in platinum. Platinum is literally what international banks would use to transport wealth from
Yep.
one massive bank to another.
I had a lot of fun screwing with my players, by not letting them pay for things with platinum. Like you show up to a blacksmith and try to pay for something, like whoa, I can't take that. Like, what are you doing? I don't have that kind of money here. Like, you could buy my entire store with that. Like, I can't give you change. And they're like, all right, just keep it. And then it's like, ah! Can you join my new campaign? Please roll 20. It's called Phantoms of the Forest. I'm overloaded on campaigns right now. I'm trying to keep up with the ones I do have. Level 20, you can literally destroy an entire continent. Yeah, exactly. Like, the wish spell is like, it's world breaking. It just is. So, like, anybody that can cast that is not on the human level. You can kill 90% of monsters in a few rounds. Yeah, and so there's a ton of. Whoops! I just turned this into a dude instead of a bird. Hold on a second.
You turned the Owlbear Man?
I turned him into Owlbear Man. Yep. I might need a reference for this owl.
I sent you one in the
Oh, did you?
chat.
Okay. Oh, yep. I was talking to Dalcor, and I forgot to go back to the chat. Hold on. Wait, was it a?
So
yeah,
that is
an
a
owl or a
Eurasian
cobra.
eagle.
Okay, cool.
Yep. I would argue a Eurasian eagle owl looks like a great horned owl.
It does look like a great horned owl. I agree. I had a thought. When a creature has a CR of half, does that mean that 2 of the creatures are equal to a 1 level 1 character, roughly? It's not. It's actually, so the way CR was originally intended, it's all based on XP, but the way to work it out is if you have a party of 4, or is it a party of 5? If you have a party of 4, I'm going to say party of 4.
Sounds about right to me.
Of level 1 power. And what I mean by that is their average is level 1. A CR 1/2 creature requires 2 of them to be adequate level of XP for a party of that size. So if you have a party of 4 and you want to fight a pack of goblins, an average encounter should be, which goblins are CR 1/4, they were a while ago, should be 4 goblins. And that's going to be an average encounter. They find average loot, they get average XP, nothing weird happens. And CR is meant for parties, correct? Yeah, CR is an algorithm. So, and then if you want it to be challenging, then you say, let's make it CR2 that they're going to fight. So now it's 8 goblins. So 8 goblins fighting a party of level 1 characters. That's going to be tough because then somebody's probably going to die. Wait, actually 8, just realized roll 20 is complicated. Yeah, roll 20 is complicated.
As it is, I have a question for people in the chat. So
sure, let me read this real quick. The only time my group has ever gotten a real challenge, I think, was when he explained this before. Was when the DM made 3.5 characters and threw them at us, and it lasted like 30 rounds. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like that's the thing. A lot of 5e is calculated within like I think 4 to 6 rounds encounters. That's all the longer it's supposed to last. It's like you either win or you lose. Done. Go ahead, Corvus.
I was going to ask: has anyone ever experienced Alchemy? I think it's called Alchemy, the online tabletop.
I've heard
platform.
of it, and I've not played it.
Okay. I was just wondering if anyone's had any experience with that.
To keep going with CR is also developed around having mismatched numbers. So if you have a level 4 wizard in your party, and 3 level 1s, you have a CR of 2. So 8 goblins with a level 4 person in your party, that's how that balances out. I don't know if that works, right? Like, you also, once again, is this a level 4 character with +5 weapons? Is it a level 4 character with no gold? Like, all those things have to be taken into account, and it really is meant for a starting point for you to calculate the XP to give to your party to advance. And so it's just CR is kind of wishy-washy. Really, if you want to start balancing your parties out, like balancing your encounters, what you need to do is you can start there, and you can figure out what's the highest damage your party can do in a round, and you can... I just need to make this into a video. I need to talk about this sometime.
Yeah.
And you can design your encounters for how long you want them to be. And so what I usually do is I look at, like, Kevin the Necromancer always does really heavy hitting characters. So I'm like, okay, he can do 50 damage in one round. Anything I want him to fight that I don't want to die instantly needs to have more than 50 hit points. But I also need to add things to the encounter that he can one-shot, because that's what he wants to do with his character. So it's like that's how you start balancing out encounters. If you have a number of things that can be taken out in one shot or two shot or by specific people, that exists, like waves. If you have a wizard and you're like, I'm going to throw a bunch of goblins at him, is the fireball going to kill them all? That changes, right? Is it a big room or is it a bunch of small tunnels? That changes the CR, because can a fireball kill all of them instantly and make it one round combat? Or is a fireball only situational if 2 or 3 things come up? Yeah, we had a really hard fight with Druid's campaign, which I thought we were going to be fine with. But the things I didn't expect were they got a surprise round. We were in difficult terrain, which I didn't expect. And all of those things like add up. All those things add to the CR. So we were already in a hard fight, but then adding the difficulty of the terrain and us not getting the jump on the monster almost killed us.
Which is my fault.
Well, not directly, but like 3 of the people in our party were not meant for stealth, and we didn't really talk about the fact that we needed to be stealthy. Like, that was just, I guess it was implied, or I didn't read the chat or something, and it was a shit show.
No,
bad rolls
definitely...
too, right? Bad rolls didn't help.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you, my character would have died instantly.
I think we all would, like, it was so tight, like we all went down. It was bad. If a character's going 1v1, you should throw monsters below their CR because of scaling. Yeah, exactly. So if you have a party of 1, you're basically going to drop the CR by 3 for every. I think that was the other thing I forgot. So if it's designed for a party of 4, and instead you have a party of 3, then you reduce the CR by 1. And if you have a party of 5, you increase the CR by 1. And that's the general rule of thumb. But once again, that's just the first part. That's how you pick your monsters. So you pick your monsters using that CR, and then you need to augment the monsters to match your party combinations. And that can be whether they have more armor, whether they have different weapons, whether they have a larger group, or if they have environmental. Are you inside their cave? Do they have the home field advantage? Do they have encampments? Do they have archers? Rook, you're crazy. Planning for your party skill level and gear, you have to use a random CR-based encounter and complain when the party TPKs you in one round. I mean, I've had a boss just insta-die. Like, I had a level 12... I had a level 12 creature fighting a bunch of level 10s, and I'm like, this will be fine. And they one-shotted him, and I was like, well, shit. The really funny one is I was like, I want this to be the toughest fight I've ever thrown to these guys. And I threw a level 14 at them, and I'm like, they're not supposed to win. They're just supposed to, like, fight and then escape. And so same party, level 14 guy against them with, like, level 8 creatures flying around causing distractions. One of the party members, this was Lars, and his gunslinger just started taking out the level 8s. And I'm like, that's great. I like this a lot. And then Kevin the Necromancer and Jump Rope just started casting spells that did negative negative levels and negative strength damage on the boss, just turn after turn, just like until he was so weak that they just killed him. And I was like, this is bonkers. Like, this should not be how this works. And it was really fun, and they loved it. I was like, okay, great. Like, you guys just bullied my boss to death.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, like, that kind of stuff can be a lot of fun, and that's okay to like let that stuff happen. Death Ward is balance spell to give to your enemies. Party will hate me. I love it when someone like casts smoke and then you hear like bottles smash on the ground because they start drinking healing potions in the middle of a fight. It makes people so mad. Oh, you want this great healing potion I have in my pouch? Nope, I'm gonna drink it. Like, no, my treasure.
Teasing anger from your players.
Oh no, my player's usually pretty happy, I hope. God, the fight was so devastating. I can't believe a single man that was a human and a barbarian from 3.5 who could hold his own against 5 level 20s. Yeah, player versus player combat is messy. Like, it's real messy. 3.5 characters are scary. Like, there's a reason that they redid 3.5. Like, it got to a point where it was broken.
The wizard could solo his own adventure if he wanted, when he's high enough.
Big bad evil wizard and his lieutenants have Death Ward active. That's pretty good. I like Finger of Death. It's one of my favorite spells. It's like, how much health do you have right now? Excuse me? How much health do you have? 95? You die. What? It's like, you die, no saves. Roll a new character. It's like, hold on a minute.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are dead.
Yep. I've only used that. I have used that spell like twice. One time it hit Kevin the Necromancer, who was already dead. And so, because I had it as a trap, I'm like, there's a trap on this door, and he was like, fuck it. And he just opens it, and I was like, okay. He's like, what happens? I'm like, you feel a wash of necrotic energy wash over you. He's like, and? I'm like, nothing. Nothing happens to you because you're dead. You're an undead creature. He's like, neat. I was like, if Lars had walked in that door, his character would just no longer exist. But because you are an undead character, nothing happens.
Yep.
So good.
Oh, that just reminds me that the Dampiers in second edition are so weird.
Yeah. I'm a vampire zombie.
So, like,
get your buffs up. Wizard curse.
they can't be healed by necrotic damage, but they also can't be healed by positive energy.
Don't they heal by like sapping life force from people? Is that not necrotic damage?
No.
Mm.
I don't. That's a feat they will have to take like at a later level.
Interesting. How do they heal then? Or do they have regen though? Don't they?
No.
What the?
So
what are you
there are
talking
certain
about?
spells that don't count as positive healing. Like
Interesting.
good berry. You
Okay.
could use good berry,
Just regain health.
but you can't, like, a cleric can't use their heal spell on you.
I appreciate that, but it seems a little unnecessary.
Yeah, I was like, my brain. Why, Pathfinder? Why?
I don't like Power Word Kill for the fact that when we even discussed about this, that it can only outright kill players even if the player has full HP, but has a wild shape change or wild shape in that form, less than 100 HP. We talked about that a little bit, and I think I still like that, to be totally honest. Because, yeah, if you are, like, I'm an all-powerful druid, and I'm going to turn into a small bird, and then someone just saps the life out of the bird, like, don't be a bird. Don't turn into a bird around an evil necromancer. I've always been a little upset about that part of shapeshifting. It's like, I turn into a giant creature, get hit by a meteorite, and then I'm perfectly fine, because that wasn't really my body. It's like, then you're not shape-changing. Then you're summoning astral creatures.
Is that how people rule it sometimes?
The death thing or the body?
The damage. the body
Yeah.
thing.
So the way it works is if you shift into a creature, you can only have as many hit points as you currently have, or when you shift back, you go back to what you were at before. Because the damage goes through the shapeshift, and then any remaining damage when that dies goes to you from where you were at. But if you shapeshift into something with polymorph, you can't polymorph into something with more hit points. There's a weird stipulation on it like that. But the rules as they're written with power word kill is if a creature has less than 100 hit points, it dies. And so people are like, oh, so I transform into a bird, they cast power word kill on me, and then I just turn back into myself. And it's like, no, you're dead. And it's like,
Yeah, you're dead.
No, the bird died. It's like, it didn't do damage to you. You died.
You're not living in a bird's body.
Yeah, you just died. You die, and then you revert back to your dead corpse. Per the rules of the book. So, and you shape change, polymorph, true polymorph, all of these things spells, you become that creature and you gain the HP of that creature. And then when the HP is gone, any damage that is left over would affect your quote unquote the true life force and keep you all HP. Yeah, so I mean, like I don't like that. I don't like that idea. I know why they didn't do that, because like keeping track of percentages of health is not as interesting. So basically Wild Shape is also a healing spell, but there's a lot of weird connotations about that I've never been happy with.
I think people are just trying to make it out more than what it is. It's like, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you are.
And really, at the end of the day, it's the intent of the spell, right? Shadow Word Kill pulls the soul out of something's body if it's not strong enough to withstand it. So if you turn into a bird, your bird constitution cannot prevent your soul from being wrenched from its body. Don't be a bird. Don't be a bird around necromancers. I'll say it again. Don't be a bird around necromancers. If you...
There's no... Go ahead.
If you are a druid and you shape change into a poodle, let's say, and then a wraith kills you and you die as a poodle,
Do you come back as a dead poodle?
do you come back as a dead
Wraith?
poodle or as a druid?
I would argue as a druid.
I would think so too. Except technically, if you died that way, like the situation in which this happened would be that you have one hit point, you turn into a poodle, you get bitten, it goes through the poodle and you die, and you become a person, right? Yeah, death situations are not good. Sorry I'm late for the stream. I was at therapy. No problem. That seems like a legitimate reason to not be here. I will scoot over. We'll stop talking about it. Well, we don't have to stop talking about it, but I'll erase my my CR stuff. Welcome in. Consider, would you rather have your flesh melted off and healed, or have a magical barrier preventing the acid from hitting you? Yeah. I mean, that's what I think. I think Wild Shape really is more of a buffer than anything else. I always liked the idea that like shape-shifting like that was really just like an action of will. And I think that's like the cool wizard fight from Sword in the Stone, right? Like the quintessential wizard fight. Who has the most wherewithal to keep turning into shit? It really is just a contest of mental fortitude.
Yeah, so I was looking. Apparently, there's no like hit point requirement for polymorph, or you can just polymorph into anything.
Okay, I remember reading something, and maybe it was in an older edition, or it might be a Pathfinder thing, that like once you've shifted into something, you can't just keep shifting up. I don't remember what that is though.
Well, if you polymorph, you can't cast spells.
Unless that creature also can cast spells.
Yes, but polymorph. When I said anything, I think though is like any animal.
Yeah, and it depends. It depends on the type, because I think true polymorph, something we talked about a long time ago, is like true polymorphing into a dragon that can breathe fire, and then polymorph into another dragon that can breathe fire, that can polymorph into another dragon. So every other turn you got to use a dragon breath.
Yeah.
There was something strange about. I think there's a CR restriction, so like you have to cast lower. So every time you do it, you do get weaker, and I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. New form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's, or the target of the level, if it doesn't have a challenge rating. And that's why I like the spell Shape Change, because I have access to all my spells and abilities. I can still act like an ancient dragon with breath weapons, just no legendaries. Yeah, so I think Shape Change might be the issue thing that had like some shenanigans. But it's like, that's a legit thing to do. It's just, if you want to take your turn every time and burn a Shape Change, or cast one of their spells, that's fine.
Because that was always like the big benefit for being a druid, is whenever you use your wild shape, you can cast your spells.
Yeah.
Wild shaped.
Bear druid. Yep, I think that's a legitimate use of them. The thing that's tough is I don't get the cast your spells in wild shape form until you're around level 17, 16, which is the point you already have access to shape change. Yeah, I mean, that's, once again, it's not like you're finding the cheese in it, which is really only apparent at higher levels, which is, at that point it doesn't matter. Like, level 17 character can have all the cheese they want. They're already pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Which is like, that was one thing I think the thing that made me like lose my mind about the D&D Shorts guy. I should really learn his name and talk to him. That would probably be the best thing. But one of the things he posted,
Never mind, go ahead.
he posted something that was like, the most damage you can do at level 1, be level 7. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, what are you talking about? Be a level 1 monk. Take 7 levels in fighter. It's like, okay. I see what you're doing here. It's just like, oh, my head. I hope this was supposed to be an Albarian. Because that's what I've made.
They were a rune knight.
Alright, well, we gotta give him some sweet...
feather tattoos.
Yep. I like the mask. The mask is a cool idea. Maybe we'll put some sweet runes on the mask. Being high level is how you do lots of damage in this game. That's my thought. As a single player, being able to do 500 damage by yourself first, be a level 10 wizard, and have spell blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's super legit to do that stuff. I'm not saying it's not, but a lot of it just feels like how do I say this? If that's what you're into, that's fine. That is a type of D&D you can play, but it's not great for all D&D.
No.
I built a character that one-shots everything. Cool. Can they do anything else? Nope. It's like, well, we're gonna swim now. It's like, I think I accidentally turned this into a cheetah owl. Prepare the floof. Some runes
here. Oh, actually, maybe that could be really cool. What if we like etch the runes into their feathers? Nope, that just looks weird. Well, maybe not. What if we give them like a big old... There we go. Hoot hoot. You can do like 30 damage a level when you blow almost all of your class resources. Yeah. Be an orc with a great axe or a gnoll with a great axe and win. That's it. That's how you do high damage. Every turn.
Bugbear with a glaive.
Yep, bugbear with a glaive. Just roll nat 20s all the time. That's how. I mean, that's it. Just cheat. Cheat real hard. Maximum damage. To me, dungeons driving. What? I think that's supposed to say dungeon diving to the team game. Your spells and abilities able to complement your own player's spells and abilities, and be able to mix and match things to overcome any challenges. I really like playing. I think that's legitimate. Like that's really how D&D should be played. Is finding fun things that work with everybody. But I really like. Oh, I lost it. I lost it for a second. Dungeon diving. I like playing games with low magic. Like, I think that's a lot of fun, especially when it's like you can do things like have a warlock, warrior, monk combo, which then the warlock's abilities seem really weird because they're essentially just like you could swap out a Eldritch Blast with a crossbow and it would be the same. But having just like limited spell points makes spells so much cooler than when you have a party of like a cleric and a wizard and a sorcerer that's just constantly like every turn is like, which spell am I casting this turn? And it's just like it's chaos and arcane shenanigans everywhere. I really like having one spellcaster or limited spell casting, and it really makes items and stuff more interesting too. So that's just me though. Like I rarely play spellcasters because I enjoy the limiting factor of it, but then I also play characters who are like, oh sweet, I swing my sword, that's my turn, bye. Like, so there's definitely some nuance there that can be looked at. All right, I think this Aarakocra is done. I'll put a few more little things on his maul here. Yeah, you guys are definitely playing super high fantasy, which is fine. Like I said, something you might want to look into is converting to a Pathfinder game and playing some of the mythic adventures. This is gonna be really fun, and it's neat when you look at like, ooh, level 25. You can basically start taking level 1 spells, but they have augmented abilities on them, which is kind of neat. I like that idea, and I think they kind of work that into 2nd edition now, where you can heighten spells just by taking more actions with them. That's kind of what the old at level 21 you can cast Cure, but you can cast it in a way that it is now AoE. It's just like, that's awesome. I like that. So there's some cool stuff for it. Hope that orange cat's okay. I put him outside and it's raining now.
He's probably fine.
Maybe.
Okay, that's enough Al. Let's roll the dice again. For those of you who first stream have managed to catch live, nice. For those of you that are just joining, if you haven't put a suggestion in for this week, you are welcome to add it to the chat now, and I will throw it on the list. Otherwise, here we go. Wizards and full casters have way too many spell slots, in my opinion. They upscaled their casting for 2nd edition and 3rd edition and removed the XP barrier. Used to have to do win level 5 with a certain group with level 7 materials. Interesting. They definitely... I think you're right that there's maybe too many, but I think it was kind of an overcorrection because 3.5 wizards were OP as balls, but they felt really weak early game because you just couldn't do anything, and like your cantrips were kind of poop. So I like what they've done with cantrips to make them feel more powerful. But like, I don't know. Wizards don't feel the same to me anymore as they used to, with having like prepare their spells very, very meticulously. And it's way better because I think people can play them more, but it definitely feels different. May I please suggest a Japanese-like flower fairy, blade song wizard with tiny katana? Nice. All right. Blade Song Wizard. Is that like when you is that a sword
singer.
Sword wizard?
Yeah.
Magic sword. I should play a sword singer.
Yeah, when they do their blade song ability, which is what they get 2nd level, boosts their AC and everything.
Nice. Should we still give him a pointy hat? All wizards need a pointy hat. That's where you keep all your spells.
I think they mean Blade Singer. What did I say? Oh, Blade Song
No.
Wizard. Gotcha. Blade Song is an ability. Ah, all right.
It's their main gimmick. Going back to cantrips real quick, I really hate Pathfinder cantrips.
Really interesting. Why is that?
Well, at least in 2nd edition, there's a lot of them, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are so niche and situational that it's like, why would I ever take this? Why would I ever need to know which way is true north?
Yeah, there's like, man, tracking. This is the whole thing with rangers, right? Like rangers are stupid. It's like, yeah, but what if you have to track somebody? It's like, what? It's like, oh, all right. People don't do that anymore. They don't like that kind of RP. They don't like getting lost in the forest for days.
Well, in the context of that we're playing Pathfinder 2nd edition, is we expedite that process.
Exactly.
to the
Yeah.
main. So like
But
they're
that's
not.
why.
But it's also like there are spells like me playing Declare that one time. I had a lot of spells that not a lot. I had a few spells that just wouldn't work because I thought they did one thing and they did something completely different and was very meh.
Mhm. Yeah, there's
And it's like-
I think Dagon ran into that as well. Of and even jump rope. Jump rope had that cool combo with the ember fire thing.
Mhm.
And then I was reading it and I'm like, that's not how this spell works.
Yeah.
Oh no, do I say anything? Because the way she's using it is awesome. But that's not how that spell works.
Yeah.
So I
'Cause-
don't know if that's a growing pain issue or if it's just because we're learning so much, we're kind of not like if we didn't have to relearn a system, right? Like we're learning 2nd edition. If we didn't have to learn that, would we be as upset when we run into that, or is it because we're already like fumbling through and then that happens that it's so frustrating?
I definitely think it's kind of a bit of both for me because I'll be looking at like because I'm a prepared spellcaster, my cleric
Mhm.
is. So it's like, it just feels so limiting the spells I have like access to.
Are they prepared? I thought they were.
Yeah,
Right, they're
they're
no longer spontaneous. They have spontaneous healing, but they no longer are
yes,
spontaneous cast, which is fine. That's the benefit
and
of
so
the
it's just
oracles. Which I assume
yeah.
they'll bring the oracle back.
Well, the oracle's already in.
Are they? Okay,
It was
cool.
yeah. They're just that's what Burning Fox character is. So
Oh, that makes sense. I thought he was some kind of medium.
that's not been brought back.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they are prepared spellcasters, and some clerics get a few spells like from their deities. So like if
Mm-hmm.
you're a cleric of Nessus, you get like 9 spells that you can pick
Yeah.
from the arcane spell list because it's Nessus.
Magic and destruction.
But
I
it's
love
just like
Nathus. He's my
there's a
favorite.
lot of spells that just don't seem worth ever taking.
Interesting. I'll have to take a look.
I heard my name.
Oh, sorry.
We were talking about oracles.
Yep.
And Pathfinder cantrips being poop, apparently.
Well, it's not so much. I don't know. This may just be the divine cantrips because that's the only thing I have access to. Is divine
Yeah.
spells. They're very lackluster. Like there's one that lets you cheat in gambling, like at cards.
Okay.
Maybe I think maybe some of that might be because we are using the modules. Like a lot of information in Pathfinder is still just in the modules. I don't know. That's weird. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
I know most of my spells are either ritual concentration, so that they're not greatest, but one thing that they definitely do not cross with, cross which I can. I can't read that sentence, Goldtooth. I'm so sorry. They don't cross with healing magic? Like, you mean you're not a healer? Or are you saying that the ritual spells don't work with there's I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to demand a clarification on that one. Second level, you can invoke elven magic called Blade Song, providing that you aren't wearing medium or heavy armor or using a shield. Graces you with supernatural speed, ability, and focus. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I'm always using my spells to heal people, but then they use their spells to do damage, or do something crazy shenanigans. So are you saying that you have to heal them, and so you're not getting to do like the most damage output, or they use their spells because I have a lot of ritual and concentration spells, which are not so great because instant spells just do instant damage.
Gotcha. Yeah, ritual spells are not meant for in combat.
Because like 1 minute is roughly 10 rounds of combat.
Yeah. Kevin the Necromancer loves to do this thing where he will, if he can, always take ritual magic. And then right as like something slows down, he's like, I start casting this spell, and then he'll try to sneak in as many rounds of a ritual cast as he can before combat starts. And if he gets within like 1 or 2 rounds to cast it, otherwise he'll just drop it. And it's just like, no, that's fair. I'll let you do that. So it's funny. It's fun trying to watch him get ritual casts into combat somehow. He does a good job of it. Like I like his effort for it. And the fact that he will, like, if he doesn't think he can get in, he'll just throw it. He'll say, yep, nope, that's fine, didn't work. I'll do something else. I like the hat idea, but I don't like this hat.
Can you hear us now, Burning?
Uh-oh, can Burning not hear us? That's no
Well,
good.
he said Discord was very quiet for him, so.
Gotcha. Nudge the odds. Yeah, that's a bad cantrip.
It's not even a cantrip, it's an actual spell.
Ah, that's weird.
It's
Bonus to games lore checks to gamble. If you roll a critical failure on such a check, you gain a failure instead. However, the spell is too short-lived to use to earn income checks.
from gambling.
Yeah, that's real weird. That's real weird.
And it's not even like it's from like a weird niche adventure path.
That sounds like a
spell.
fun spell, though. Like you take that to have fun and be.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stuff like that in Pathfinder that it doesn't seem like this isn't viable in combat. It's like no, it's not meant for that. It's meant for a gambling game when you're playing Ocean's 12. Let's see. Let's see where I am. I gotta catch up on chat here. Ritual magic is awesome. I'm late, but I made it. Night, Steve. Night, Steve. Diet, Steve. Welcome. Hello. Any moose today? Not yet. No mooses. No moose today. Moose yesterday. Moose yesterday. I missed a moose.
Didn't we? No. When did we draw the moose? Was that Friday? Thursday?
I am the true spellcaster, so I should be the one that takes care of most magical needs. With healing magic, most of them don't even use it. I mean, I like rolling games without healers. I think it's fun. Yeah, I think it's more interesting.
I mean, I'm a cleric without healing.
Yeah. And we almost died. I really.
Hey, I was very upfront before we started that I am not a support cleric.
And I think that's great.
Kill the party.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like that's what I love about Finny. Finny is, as an alchemist, it's like I can heal people very slowly. Like if I have to spend my entire turn to force feed you a potion, something has gone bad. Something has gone very wrong. But I can give everybody a potion, and then they can use it on their own turn, and that's great. I think that's really fun. I think that's how a lot of combats could be looked at.
Healing's not necessary if you kill the bad guy before you get hurt.
Yep. The best way to prevent, or the best way to heal people is to prevent the damage with the sword.
Yep.
I'm healing with damage.
The best defense is a good offense.
Yep. So I think yeah.
Yeah, one day I need to sit through and make a list of spells that I want to take with me before we start.
Yes, I think that was something with Pathfinder. What I suggested, which is kind of shitty, that Pathfinder doesn't have a better way to do this yet. What I used to do is I would just copy and paste all of my spells into like a Word doc, so that I just always had them on hand. And then I would print off my own spell list and hyperlink all of my spells to those so that I could just like click on things and see all the information I had right away. That was way before D&D Beyond was a thing. And D&D Beyond does a great job of it. But Pathfinder still needs that.
Been keeping like when we are running, I'll keep tabs open on Archives and this. It's like, what does this abilities do?
Yeah.
Because Boundary is loads slowly for me some days. Like I don't got time for this. I need a bit quicker response.
Yeah, I agree.
Air bubble. That could have come in handy.
If everyone who can take healing takes one healing spell, no one needs to be board spam healed. Yeah. I incorporated the moose into a side campaign, and they are successfully ripped the arms off of a bandit. Oh wow.
I just feel bad that Burning got stuck with being the healer that one day.
I mean, I got stuck being the healer because everyone was dying, not because not because I was the only one who had heal spells.
That was the same thing with. Yeah, that was the same thing with when we were fighting the drakes.
It's like I had a character that could shoot lances of fire 200 feet, and I'm like, this is going to be easy. And then I assumed that Burning was the healer, and Burning instantly went down. And I was like, well, I have to use all of my spells now to revive him, or we're all going to die. So, like, it's just, like, I think that's the thing. Like, utility is key, right? And if everybody has some utility to keep themselves alive, I think Bionic's right. If everybody takes some form of healing so that they can keep themselves going, no one person has to have all of their dedication to it. That being said, I love playing healers. Like, in any game, I love stacking the deck with healing spells. It's so much fun to just be like, you're back to full health. You're back to full health. Like, keep fighting. It's like, I just got crushed by a boulder. Keep fighting.
I love that aspect of support characters. So
Psychotic support.
what's that?
Psychotic support
Yeah,
characters.
yeah, just, you know, bubblegum and duct tape, make it happen. My limbs, don't worry about it, I'll fix it later. Just keep going.
Yeah, there are a lot of spells, and it's like, what do these do?
Yeah, the cantrips I think cantrips are weaker in second edition than they have been in the past, but you can upscale a lot of them, and they are really meant to be something you specialize in. So like when you just take a cantrip, it is supposed to be something like Mage Hand. Like, it's just something you use literally all the time without thinking about it. It's not meant to be something that is super powerful, because effectively for a long time, like I said, with warlocks, like a warlock's Eldritch Blast is better than a crossbow, but it takes less effort than a crossbow. That's stupid. Like, it has made most ranged weapons just completely useless unless you have a way of augmenting them. So yeah, it's strange. It's my Thursday game, I assume. We have a pacifist life cleric who heals and then uses the shove action. I dig that. I really dig that. I love playing clerics with shields like that. They don't have weapons at all. They just have shields. That's really fun. Did nothing but heal my party, and even had level 20 character that could change it. An ancient beast dragon, I still have to heal them. I mean, let them die. That's the thing. You came into this. We're so powerful. We never die. It's also, we're just turn into a dragon. Next time you're gonna fight, just say fuck it, turn into a dragon, let them deal with it. He's smart while playing a pacifist. Isn't I'm healing the wolf you're fighting. That's funny. I've been thinking about making an astral self monk and a druid multi-class to just be a cat with like 2 heads and reinforced body. I guess it would be like 6 or 8 arms. So like 2 cats mashed in. Oh, I see. Because of the astral self, that could be really funny. Like an 8-limbed cat. That would be pretty great.
Spider cat.
Cat bus. Real Chad plays all the warlocks with no Eldritch Blast.
I was supposed to do it. I think it's great.
I mean, I like to, but I've never actually played a warlock. I think the only thing I would ever use Eldritch Blast for is they have these 2 options that they can take later on where you can pull or push people. I really like the idea of like hitting someone and dragging them into like that spiked earth that you lay on the ground. Just rake them across it.
I make a hole and I push them in.
Yep.
I made this butt too big. It's too much butt.
That's debatable.
I mean, really what I did is I put the leg too high. Like, no one can bend their leg into their ribs like that. That's just, I done broke it. So the butt's not the problem, it's the leg.
What does Dancing Shield do?
Dancing Shield's pretty dope. It basically gives you a free shield. I think you animate it and it just follows you around. Is that right?
Yeah, so you levitate the touch shield and it orbits around a nearby ally when you cast the spell and sustain the spell. The shield uses the raised shield action to protect the target.
That's amazing. I kind of want that now.
It's a level 2 spell.
You say that, but I see it as as an enchanted weapon or an enchanted shield.
I mean, I think there is a dancing property that you could probably add to a shield,
Yeah. I think so.
but this is just a little spell that you could do that everyone has access to. It's on all the spell lists.
We should do bigger dragonfly wings. Do bigger wings down here. It's just chaos now.
Let chaos take the world.
Does not take the wheel. I hope people got that joke in the newest video. If you haven't watched the new video, go check out the new video. It's great. Don't know what hero points are. You should use them. I thought I'd get more comments on my butterflying intensifies. But it happened very fast. Okay, we're getting rid of the wizard hat. We're going to give her a witch hat.
I feel like the only difference between a witch hat and a wizard hat is the size of the brim.
Yeah, wizards don't have the big poof brim. It's still a pointy hat at the end of the day. You know what? The ear can go through the hat. That's fine. Make hat holes for your ears. Ear holes for your hats. There we go. Hat holes for your ears. No, that still works. That's still fine. That's still fine.
Plastic.
It's no longer spooky month, but
Yeah,
witches are always in season.
witches are always cool.
It's Day of the Dead, so
That's true. It's the spooky month. It's a spooky day.
When is Day of the Dead? Is it today or is it yesterday?
Yeah. Hang on.
I think it was yesterday.
It's today.
Is it? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't missed it.
I think yesterday was All Saints Day, and
Yeah.
today is All Souls Day, so.
So does the Blade Singer not wear armor at all, or is it
They
just
can wear light armor.
they can wear light armor? Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, they get light armor and one martial weapon proficiency of their choice.
Great axe.
I mean,
Always take the great axe.
nothing's stopping you.
She's defrosting. Wait, what? Slow degradation to December now. Reverse gravity was only fun when I was in a cave. There was at least 100 feet that I could suffer a bunch of fall damage. Then immediately lose concentration to do more fall damage. Got it. Needs to be one-handed. I mean,
I could use a two-handed weapon with one hand.
Yeah, that is true. It needs to be a one-handed.
That sounds like quitter talk to me.
Well, you got have another hand to hold your spell book.
Oh, what if
And
your
to cast
spellbook
spells.
is the Great Axe?
Hmm?
What if your spellbook is the Great Axe? Just put
I
your
mean,
etch your spells onto it, and then you're good to go.
I'm down for it.
I would totally be down for that. Just like a spell storing axe. You can only have like 2 or 3 spells in it. It's like, yep, sounds good to me. I guess you probably wouldn't be able to cast spells with material components if you're always holding the sword. But then it would be more like a focus, so that would still work in some situations. It would just take like a lot of preparation. But I'd be down for this.
Plate mail is overrated though, Goatooth. Too expensive and it's only 18 AC.
And really stupid because the study of other armors is stronger than plate. Wait, a suit of sturdy of other armors is stronger than plate. But what about sturdy plate mail? Would a gunblade be a melee weapon? Yeah, it would. It would be a melee weapon with the option of, as a standard action, having a ranged attack.
Yep. Not that hard to homebrew.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what Goldtooth's saying. He's saying that because of the dex modifier, someone in studded leather can have a higher armor class than someone in full plate.
Gotcha.
So,
But that takes
I
an
see that
enchantment,
more
which
as-
is fine.
Yeah. I also see it as more like they're like twisting their body to like just move out of the way of an attack instead of plate mail where you're kind of just taking the brunt of the attack.
Yeah, you basically don't have to. That's the thing that bums me out about a lot of plate mail is like it should have damage reduction on it. Like it just should, but it doesn't because with WotC is scared of DR. So yeah, whatever.
What's this? Second
I mean,
plate.
Goldtooth, are you comparing like just normal plate mail to +3 studded leather? That seems like an unfair comparison.
Adamantine has DR. Yeah. Adamantine should have awesome DR. I love it. Even if the 3 studded leather armor guaranteed AC is ridiculous. I mean, so the alternative would be to then get the what is it called? Flexible augmentation on your plate mail. In Pathfinder they have that, which gives you a higher dex bonus to your plate mail. Like both of those things do the same thing. You either increase up the AC of your low armor, or you up the dex bonus of your. That's what those enchantments are for. I'd like to make a suggestion: a human druid who is a doctor, a traveling merchant, beekeeper, okay, wears noble clothes and has a plant companion. His name is Herb, and he owns magical herbs. Nice, Herbert. Post it again because it got lost in the Warlock talk. Oh, okay. Sorry, Steve. Let me add that. Put it on the list. You add your con score to your AC because you have so much stamina you never stop moving. Not bouncing off your hard muscle. That would be adding stir to your AC. That's a good point. I like that. You have so much muscle from your strength. That could be fun. I think I'm done with this one. I'm going to move on. I'm going to roll the dice. How do I keep losing the... Oh, it's right here. That's why. The Bagman. I have to draw my version of the Bagman. I don't know if people know who the Bagman is. I was almost not wanting to draw this because it wasn't following the rules of race and class, but it's like iconic D&D monster, so... And by iconic, I
Isn't
mean
that like Finney's
creepypasta.
dad?
Yeah, right. It's Finney's nightmare. Oh god. So the Bagman is a D&D creepypasta. We are the Bagman. Maybe everybody knows about the Bagman. Yeah, he comes out of bags of holding and eats people, essentially.
So essentially, like in the same vein as the False Hydra and the Siren Head, like
Yes,
creepypasta
but
monster.
but not annoying. Like this is a good creepypasta monster, in my opinion. It's very much just it's just the boogeyman, but for bags of holding. Like that's all it is. I think it was a guy who abandoned his party by hiding in a bag of holding and then got trapped in it. And then now every night he's supposed to come out of one bag of holding somewhere in the world trying to find his way home. And if he doesn't, then he just pulls somebody else into the bag with him and leaves. He leaves something. He leaves like a lump of coal or something. It's Rugby staring out of a potato sack. Bagman is evil, and I want to find a way to throw him into the Folkovania? I don't know what that means, but that sounds awesome. It's like folklore, Avania, Castlevania thing mixed together. It's a decent creepy story, but not Jeff the Killer. Yeah, I mean, like it's. I think it's a pretty good. This is probably one of the better. Like, the False Hydra is just so convoluted that it's like unnecessarily bonkers. Whereas this is just like it's just a creepy thing that totally feels like it could fit in a D&D world.
Just someone's old character.
Yeah, someone's like it happened. That's probably what happened. Somebody like the whole party died, except one of them. Like I jump in a bag of holding, and then they just like never talked about it. And then 4 years later, the DM's like, "Oh, by the way, here comes Jeff." And I'm like, "No, my character, you abandoned me in the bag."
Just a creepy gnome.
It's essentially Gollum, but in a bag of holding.
Head of Vecna? I love the story of the head of Vecna.
I don't know if I've heard the Head of Vecna story.
The short version, from what I remember, is essentially a DM convinced their party that there was the head of Vecna, and just like the hand and eye, you had to remove your head and then put the Vecna on your body to gain the power.
Okay. How do you do that?
Except it's not an item. Like, it's not an actual artifact of Vecna.
What is it then?
It's just a head.
Oh, it's just somebody's head?
I think what... Oh no, so what happened was the DM had two, like, rivaling parties going simultaneously.
Okay.
And one group left the head, like, set up to look like it was a really strong artifact and had, like, been spreading rumors about the head of Vecna. So they thought it was... So the other party thought it was a real thing. And they left this, like, decayed head on a, like, platter, put a bunch of traps, and I think Headless Corpse by it. Something, I can't remember exactly how they set it up, but yeah, then the party who found it started fighting over it, and it ended up with, like the last survivor cutting their own head off to try and
That's funny.
put the head of Vecna on.
That's so stupid.
Freedman destroys the whole party.
Well, I should play Bagman. I mean, we could do that, but not right now. Maybe next Halloween. Greed does kill the whole party. I thought you said the Green Man. I was like, what is the Green Man?
No, greed.
Yeah, Greed Man. Yep, that makes way more sense. Took me a second, but I put it together.
You should never be the Rune Lord of Greed. They're the worst.
We're gonna go like we're gonna go the ring levels of goop, I think.
Yeah.
Really, what it sounds like to me when you read the Bagman thing, it sounds like somebody died, but was like gonna turn into an undead anyways, and then it just turned into a ghoul. Turned into a ghoul in the bag, and then just keeps eating people whenever that bag of holding gets found.
Oh yeah. Destroy it. Never.
Cast down the ring.
No.
Isildur.
I love that scene in Lord of the Rings. So good. So fast.
It just walks away.
No.
Elrond, kill him.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like Elrond. Don't be a
Lance
baby.
him with your spear and chuck him into the
Yeah,
wall.
you're an elf. Just flick him in. Just grab him and flick him. Pull one of those Legolas things and just like slide underneath his legs and like trip him and roll him up an elephant, and then bounce him off the top of the volcano.
He scores.
Summon 1,000 rock horses to just ride him off the cliff.
Funny. Pathfinder 2E ghoul archetype.
Bagman is one of the archetypes. Would be great.
No, but there's a ghoul archetype. So you could like die from ghoul fever and become a ghoul and play a ghoul.
I have to work out. So one of my friends was like, I really want to play D&D again. Like the few times we've tried to play different things that popped up. Like the one time my friend was like, I'm gonna play a horse, and that was just like, I'm not into this kind of game. It's like, that's fair. Like I get it. So he wanted to play like a serious, low key D&D game that was like RP heavy. I'm like, I can do that. I can figure that out. And I had them fight some were rats because I thought I'll throw because I know him really well. We've done lots of things. Like he's gonna want to fight the rats in the cellar, right? Like that's a classic level 1 fight. I'm gonna switch it up and throw a were rat in there. I think that'll be fun. 2 of them got bit.
Oh no!
And the cleric in the party rolled like a 4 and a 6 to see if they were okay. And I'm like, they seem fine. I'm like, this might be a werewolf campaign now. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. We'll find out.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Being a were-rat.
I want to play Mouse Guard again. Mouse Guard seems fun. And no, Shiveries is not on the list. You'd have to submit that for the list if you'd like. I still would suggest that you pick a D&D character, as that's the general rule of thumb.
How many suggestions do we have?
We have 12 left.
Okay. Three.
Changeling, Circle of the Moon Druid, uses her shape-shifting powers to get to places those animals do not belong. So is it a changeling of the changeling of the Moon Druid? Okay. So it's a changeling that
all the shape shifting.
Yeah. That's actually kind of interesting. I like that idea. Ooh, that's interesting a lot. Like I would allow someone to do that. Like, can a changeling that can shapeshift into a bear just make themselves look like a bear? I would say yes, but they wouldn't have the bear powers unless they use their shape change ability. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. They had the visual of a bear, but they don't got
the stats of a bear.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Isn't shapeshifting like mimicking but more likeness? It is, yeah. I actually have a video out on changelings and my beef with them. If people want to go watch it. But I actually really like that idea.
I feel like your beef is just people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I want to play this character, but I want to be a changeling.
I don't actually have a beef with changelings. I have a beef with people that are indecisive when making characters.
Can I just be all the characters? No, please pick one. How about 5? It's like 1. 4? It's like you can have 2. Pick 2 characters and you can be 2 characters. And they're like, yay, changeling. It's like, God damn it.
I definitely also like the idea of like Path of the Beast barbarian with a changeling.
Yeah.
Where they're like shaping their hands and stuff into different claws and stuff.
Yeah. And I think that, like, right there, that concept, that's great. Like, that's the quintessential thing that I'm missing from changelings is like your like the mechanical component of it. Because that to me makes sense of why you would do that and how you mechanically do shenanigans. Like, I want to shapeshift my hands into a claw. It's like, cool, I would allow that. Like, I'd even give you more beneficial effects of that, like bear claw, dog mouth bite thing. Like, I would let you do more with it if you were a changeling. But really the beef I have with a lot of changeling players is like, I don't want to choose what my character is. And it's like, I want you to choose what your character is. So, yeah. Which is fine. If you go into a D&D campaign like not really knowing what your character wants, that's great. I think that's awesome. But just general vaguity is not a good character make. Like, it's totally fine to figure out what your character is, but don't build your character around not knowing what your character is, because it doesn't build well in my mind. I've seen a few people do it really well. Don't get me wrong. I'm totally fine with people playing changelings.
Like, I do like the idea of a changeling having like maybe at most 2 personas that they only use, but even then it's like there is a lot of like role play stuff that you gotta keep in mind.
Yeah,
like,
you can.
Which lie have I told this person today?
Yep, I'm totally fine with that too. Like, if you want to play as different characters, that's fine. And there are things to be said about like having multiple personalities and different effects like that. There was an interesting talk. Oh, maybe I'll have to find that again, when they were talking about the wheelchairs, the battle wheelchairs. It's like there's also something where you need to be careful about playing different types of disorders or disabilities, because it shouldn't be a fantasy for you to do that. And so when people want to play a character that like has some sort of split personality, or like, I prefer things like possessed by demons, to where it is physically a separate character like interacting with you. I think that's a little more fantasy based than I'm a changeling and I have 12 personalities. And it's like, I hope you're doing this in a way that is spirited in a good form, but like, be aware that like that can be relayed to other things. So I don't know. It's just that's a kind of a hot topic, but also it's just something to keep in your mind when you're playing characters like that.
I definitely agree. There's not in D&D, but there's Vampire the Masquerade. There's a clan of vampires that's like their weakness is madness, and it's for a long time it's just been jokes, and it's like that's really offensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't get me started on wheelchairs in D&D. They shouldn't be a straight upgrade to base players. Are they? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to take that. We don't have to talk about it. It's totally fine. Fish fur, master water can swim. Monsters. Wait, what? That roll with no fire. I'm a little confused there. I made a changeling rogue that was a perfect spy, adopted person's blend. Yeah, see, that's cool. I like that. A tabaxi that's obsessed with deserts can have a banana split personality. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I'm wondering if there would be some loopholes you could exploit with a "you've never seen" wording. Yeah, I mean that's the other problem with I have with changelings is when people basically try to cheese the game. Like, oh, I morph my body. It's like, are you an ooze? Are you an ooze or a changeling? Are you like, are changelings mimics? Like, there's a whole slew of stuff with that, and that's why I really like people to like. I'm a spy. I can change into people. It's like perfect. Like, that's great. And if you want to say I'm a barbarian that can shapeshift into animals, I would allow it because you've made that decision. But then when people are like, I want to turn my hand into a key, it's like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
I've turned into a seahorse that looks like a key. It's like, just stop whatever it is you're trying to do.
No. Oh. I mean, I like the idea of changeling turning their finger into a key, but you don't know how the key looks
Right.
like, presumably.
Yep. Don't try anything, and I'll allow stuff like that with like we did that with. I gave people like a key and 2 chests, and someone's like, "Can I use my fabrication thing to try to create another key?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, that's awesome!" Like, you have the key, you try to replicate it. I like it. Like, that kind of stuff is good. Yeah, Indignant Lamentations, like that's the bad side that we don't want. Like that, people should think about that kind of stuff when they play characters like that. The people who read shape change and don't actually read the ability. Except that's the other problem. Yeah, is that people basically don't read all of the book. My suggestion. Okay, we got a suggestion here. A human woman who's become the first deity in time of magical chaos. She slipped into the Feywild and helped make the first elven civilization. So that's fun. I like that. It's basically Mistra, right? Sounds like Mistra, I think. Maybe I don't have that right, but I will add it to the list. The frog, hello.
I think I'm done drawing the bag, man. I'm going to put a frowny face on the bag because I think the regular bags of holding are supposed to have faces on them. He's like, oh, gross. I've got the ring in my bag.
Oh, now just picturing it's like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. You look at it, smiling, you look away, look back, it's frowning. It's like, uh-oh.
I love and hate that concept so much. It's so good.
It's essentially the ghosts from Mario.
It is, yeah. But like it is such a good like creepy trope of something that
physically can't move when you're looking at it, so that it can always be in that like moment of almost death
to you, and you're just like, oh, it's such a good concept, but there's just so many like loopholes and shenanigans to deal with it. It's like, oh man, that is a headache and a mess, just all mixed into one. Really fun concept though.
It's one of those things that works well as like a ghost story, but not really anything else.
Yep. In practice, it's like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So like that first episode with them, great. Everything after is like, what?
Yep, I like it. What was the other one? There was another Silent had something like that, where you like, if you're looking at them, you can remember them, but if you're not looking at them, you can't remember them.
Oh yeah, the silence.
Yeah, really good concept. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. He's like climbing out of a pool. He's climbing out of a bag of holding. Yeah, he's the bag man. Why you should play a creepypasta? Like not even a specific one, just the creepypasta. The unfortunate demise of the bagman mistook a bag of devouring and the bag of holding. That's how you beat him. You trick him. You trick him into going into a bag of devouring. Let me guess. There's a horse on my roof and it's ripping up my shingles. What? Bernie, what are you drawing? Oh, is it the shape changing?
It's the shape changer.
That's great. That is great. I've had that comment with people before too, because for a while a lot of people were suggesting changelings, and I'm like, don't suggest changelings for the draw, because essentially either A, I'm not going to draw a changeling because is horse, or tell me what you want me to draw, and I'll just draw that, and you can say it's a changeling, right? So like, how do you reconcile that? I've since loosened my stance on it, because I'm just effectively always going to draw it like a changeling now. That's been my new rule of thumb. Draw it in its changeling form. Yeah. So if people are like, it's a changeling elf, I'm like, it's just a changeling. I'm not going to draw it as an elf.
I think the few times I suggested a changeling, I always specify it in its natural state, because I think they look really cool in their natural state.
And I agree. I think that is the way to do it. Because before I always wanted to like, well, what does it look like? Like, what does a changeling look like? It's like, oh, just kind of creepy, bland, white alien things.
Yep.
Change their best in true form. Yeah. Just draw a human bard every time you draw a changeling. Draw a mimic. Okay. All mimics look like that now. They're all hockey pucks. Hockey puck mimics. Draw them mid-change. Yeah, I mean, that's... Option 3 is awful and I hate it. And I've done that a few times. And I'm like, what? So, okay, I'm done with this. I think this got creepy enough. The bagman has been sketchified.
Drawing the mid-change is like drawing an Animorphs cover.
Yep. That is
old school reference.
Yep, I like it. The bagman. That's my bagman. It's just a big, scary, naked elf guy with gross hair. Nobody wants that. On the topic of changelings, though, I'm playing a homebrew world, and the DM is that changelings are a magically created race for espionage assassins they made with an unavoidable task. They're made with an unavoidable task. Interesting. I like it. I mean, that's fine.
That's 2 babies.
Is that Kermit on the roof? The horse named Kermit? Going into a frozen place with a lot of men with long sticks and shoe knives. Wait, what? Oh, the hockey puck mimic. I understand now. Yes, shoe knives. Head protector saying that these creatures are created by a evil benevolent being with unavoidable tasks that they don't know how to do. Sounds like the human condition. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Lauren, I don't want to read those to the chat. So, mimics as hockey pucks. Yeah, mimics as hockey pucks. Okay, we're gonna roll the next one. Here we go.
Trope in like kung fu movies is like the knife that's like in the tip of a shoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A changeling bard. Oh boy, we hit both the changelings. All right, changeling bard that whistles instead of playing instruments, as is a master of illusion and uses the rapier as a weapon. Draw a changeling, and I think you can draw him as his real form. Mid-transformation is the thing. So like this is like exactly what we were talking about. Draw him however you like. I will do that. Thank you. Changeling bard that whistles. Rapier as a weapon. All right. Okay, here we go.
What do I roll?
A D10.
10. 7.
7. A Galoma Wasteland Desert Druid?
I don't know what that is. Goloma? Is that a type of golem or a type of mushroom?
Neither. Hang on. It's my
Google
suggestion.
time.
It's a Pathfinder creature.
Okay. Lauren, you keep asking me if I read something. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Here you go, Burning.
Did you add it to this chat? Are you talking about the one from weeks ago? Because I was there when you wrote it 2 weeks ago. Well, maybe that was last Wednesday. But I need to focus on the art, and I will be doing that. So if you have something to add to the conversation we're having, I will happily read it. If not, I will probably have to. I'll read it, and I just won't add it to the chat. What's a Goloma?
So they are
Horses are hard to draw.
kind of horse-related, actually.
Oh, no. Are we only drawing changelings and horses for the rest of the day now?
So they are one of the weird races that they put out in the Mwangi Expanse. So they have like hundreds of eyes.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot. They're like the nightmare horse things.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Xeno horses, as someone called them.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say they look very much like bug horses.
Yeah. So all the little dots in like the hair is also eyes.
Pathfinder's
And
great.
what looks like a mask is actually just their face.
What did they say the class was? Druid?
Yeah, like a wasteland desert druid.
Desert horse.
Alright.
Desert horse of the nightmare shadows.
Yeah, there's not a lot of art for them out on the internet, so.
I think my next why you should play is probably going to be a Wendigo. Well, Kenrasu's coming up, so I want to do the Wendigo. Then I'll probably do the Kenrasu, and then I might do the Goloma.
I think that'll be fun. I mean, like, not read. Oh, did I add? Did I re-add? Okay. I mean, I guess I can. Did you want to make it? Is it a D&D character for that, or is it still just your homebrew creature? The rules this week were D&D race and class. I really like the Pathfinder doppelgangers over the Changeling, but they are basically just like gray aliens with giant spiky tongues. So I can see why people aren't super excited about those.
And immediately get the memories of whoever they transform into.
Mm-hmm, yeah. The races of Pathfinder keeps getting more and more wacky. I'm excited things like calm people. I mean, yeah, humans. It's the way to go, man. It's the way I always do it. Humans are the best. Are Wendigos just ghouls with voice throwing abilities? They could be. They could also be ghosts, like spirits, which is kind of interesting. Or they could be like were creatures. So there's a couple different options for them, which is super exciting. Yeah.
I feel like it also depends on how close you want to go to like the folk tales that started it, or like the pop culture creepypasta variety of them.
Yeah, and that was something I was gonna have to talk about in the video, but I think I'm gonna focus more on the pop culture version of it because I like the whole like antler skull type aesthetic, which is not the original at all. Which I dig. So those are all things I'm gonna have to talk about. Yeah. So I like the Wendigos though. I'm now playing a changeling who's recently discovered at level 2 that they're tasked to somehow kill a demigod. that the party was meant to be allied with. Oh boy, that sounds like fun. I like those kind of like conflicting things for individual party members. I like doing that. For some reason, I was just thinking about a glass golem on the trope of glass cannon, which is extremely powerful but can break easily. That'd be pretty awesome. What's really interesting about the changeling in myth is that they might not know they are one because they take method acting to the extreme. Yeah, so like there's the changelings. This is something that I talked about in the video. If you guys haven't watched the video, I highly recommend it. The Fey changelings are legitimate like children that were swapped out at birth, and so they don't realize that they're Fey creatures. And I like that concept. And then you kind of have to like figure out, do I keep living the life that I was given, or do I revert back and go back and do Fey stuff? I like that concept. It does involve that some child just got kidnapped by the Fae, which that's no good. But Fae are evil anyways.
Well, that's no good. It also shouldn't be like that. Blame isn't on the changeling.
Right? Yeah. I just mean like as dramatic story levels go, it's like, oh hey, by the way, for you to play this character, we have to, in fantasy, murder a child. It's like, uh-oh, what are we doing?
Because presumably it's a hag who's swapping out the kids.
Yep.
And I really like that. And I think I did that video right around when they were coming out with the Hex.
Hexblood?
Hexblood, yeah. I kept trying to say Hexblade in my head, and I'm like, that's not what I want. Hexblood. And I really like the Hexblood as that kind of takes that story, and it's like, okay, changelings can be their own thing, and then Hexblood fit into that niche.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, D&D gets weird sometimes. I agree, yeah. I stumbled upon a changeling with a prosthetic arm with a knife in the hand. When you have a high level of breakdown because you can charge back from Moonbeam or something and your whole identity is wiped away. Oh yeah, that could be interesting. They are not evil. They are, however, predominantly chaotic. I mean, meh.
I don't know if I'd even call them chaotic. They just operate under different rules.
Yep. That's always been my stance on it. Is like Fae are inherently evil because they don't agree with, not that they don't agree, they just don't follow human rules, human laws. Like they don't understand that stealing things are not theirs to take.
They're just like, what are you talking about? It was right here. This shovel was right here, so I took it. It's like, that's where I put my shovel. And they're like, no, it was just, no one was using it, so I used it. Like, I like that concept. And like, you can even blend that into goblins as kind of the, they don't understand humans because humans are too short-lived. Like, they just don't comprehend that kind of stuff. And so I like that, which could be chaotic. You could look at that as being more chaotic, but
I think another common Fey one that like actually leads away from chaotic is like outright lying is terrible, but being deceptive isn't.
Yeah, and that's the reason I don't want to say normally chaotic, because like I feel like Fey should be highly lawful, but it's a different morality set. Like life and being mean to people, they don't care because they're immortal and it just doesn't make sense. It's just like, oh dang, you fed me to a turtle. It's like, that kills people. What? Like, they just don't get it. They don't understand life and death. So I think they're just like, they just don't physically understand the way our society and function, like the way people function. So it kind of makes them evil. They're cruel. I think some of them can be cruel, but I think a lot of the times it's just like they don't get the way. Yeah. They have no reason to be good to people.
This is something they only ever apply to like animals. I think just the term unaligned works for them.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of, depending on the day, they may be a bit helpful or just do what's natural to them, which is weird to us.
Also, all Fae are different too, so it's not like all these rules apply to all Fae.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's true.
Why am I drawing more hats? Hats are hard. This is a bard. It's a bard who whistles.
I feel like I've drawn an Andoran from Star Trek.
You just need to give him like a straw Tom Sawyer hat.
Is that what he needs to be a whistler? He's a straw hat. Our fishing pole. Fishing pole and a deputy badge.
We're just making Andy Griffith as a changeling.
Yep. Aunt B never existed. Just never saw him in the same place at the same time.
It's a better idea for the glass golem, which is a specific ability that any magical liquid that gets put into it can once a day be reallocated. That type of magical liquid that can last 1 hour. So it's like a potion golem. So if you put an alchemical fire in the glass golem, you can replicate alchemical fire again for you. Only lasts an hour of healing potions or giant growth. That could be interesting. I like that.
See,
like
when I think of
potion golem.
glass golem, I think of like obsidian or slag glass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just
Obsidian
huge
golem.
chunks.
They did a. I watched a lot of like the weird gun YouTubers for some reason because I like guns, and one of them shot one of those giant glass orbs, like it's one of the lawn ornament things, and it was like it's hard. Like when you get glass in thick enough density, like yeah, it can chip, but like it's scary how tough and heavy and scary large chunks of glass are. We always think that they're fragile, but it's because we only ever have them in like really thin layers. So a glass golem could be really, really scary. Really scary. Can I join an online D&D campaign? Anyone on like an app that you don't need to download for free or not complicated? Are you trying to create it or just play a campaign? There's a spot on the Discord where you can see if there's any games up currently for people to play. I like using Foundry, but I think you do have to pay for that one, so I'm not sure. Otherwise, I think Roll20 is probably your way to go. I thought you were going to give him a sombrero there for a second. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about this. I'm going to take a quick break real quick, get the cat, because I think he's upset. Hang out for a minute. Everyone get up and stretch. I'll be right back. Burning can keep drawing, or Burning can take a break as well. I'll be right back, everybody. Hang tight.
I think I'll keep drawing.
Yeah, the funny thing about the Goloma is they look really terrifying, but they're actually scared of everyone.
That's why they have so many eyes.
Yeah, they literally see themselves as like prey animals, which kind of makes sense because they have so many eyes.
I mean, if they're mainly, I mean, horses are prey animals.
Mm-hmm.
They've evolved to avoid a lot of predators, but they're still prey.
Yeah, because this is Golomas fear most other people and deliberately use their unusual biology to frighten off others that they would consider to be dangerous predators.
Stop chewing that. Stop.
This is the gremlin cat.
It is. She decided to join me on my lap as I try and draw in my lap. And then decided she needed to chew my tablet. Oh.
Yeah, so their kind of base ability they get. So when you use like the seek action, you can do like 2 30-foot cones in any direction instead of one single line. Because you literally have eyes in the back of your head.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So like all their weird ancestry feats are all like perception and visual based.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, so they can eventually like see people who are trying to hide, and like there's also some that are related to like them always be wary of people, so like they can never be ambushed or flanked.
Okay, we're back. Got a drink. Cat's fed. There was still food in his bowl. Oh, where'd the pen go? Uh-oh.
Did you take it with you?
I hope I didn't roll over it on my chair.
Crunch.
Would not be the first time I've done that. Oh, here it is. Signed under the thing. Okay. Let's catch up on the chat here. Blah, 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 blah. Lawful chaotic. A being with self-imposed rules that they follow. No one else understands their rules. I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know. I think Fae are lawful evil. Lawful evil, not lawful neutral. Owlbear Rodeo is a website-based VTT with unlimited functionality, basically just maps, tokens, dice. You don't need to pay or anything. Nice. That's very cool.
Very cool. Okay. I think the straw hat was a good idea. I'm not sure what else to do. Give him a bag of victuals. Maybe he's got like a nice collared shirt. Maybe he's like a... He whistles. Maybe he's like a reverend. That'd be interesting. Not a reverend. What am I thinking?
Circuit preacher?
Yeah, like a wandering preacher. That could be a bard. Just travels around the country.
Judge.
Say that again.
A circuit judge.
Circuit judge.
Well, they were called circuit judges. They would have to travel around to all the different courthouses
Interesting.
in their little region.
Oh, that makes sense. So they have to go somewhere to try a case and then come back.
Yep.
Cool. Learned something today. I didn't want that to... I just want it to be color.
Shifted. I don't want it to be a beard.
Aren't circuit judges still a thing?
They are. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they don't travel like
they just reside
on
over.
horses.
Yeah, whole areas.
So I have deadly bags for a strand of hay in the mouth.
I was thinking about that, but that would like make it hard for him to whistle, wouldn't it? Maybe not.
Brass whistles.
True. That's true. I never thought about a bard being like a... I don't know if evangelical is the right way. What's the word for...
I mean, that is like correct term. It's just it has a different meaning for modern people.
Gotcha. Someone who just travels around spreading the good word.
Yeah, missionary.
Proselytizing?
Proselytizing, yeah.
Or missionary, yeah, that's also.
But like missionaries, I think missionaries are more about recruitment versus like someone who's goes around pontificating about like you're the dirge and doom if you don't change your ways. Which maybe is the same thing. Like
Yeah.
Is
Street
it-
preachers.
street preacher, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Which is a background for second edition.
Nice.
I feel like a lot of things are backgrounds in second
Yeah.
edition, and I love it.
Yep, I think that is true.
Why you want to be a dentist? Be a barber.
They did a lot of good stuff. I was actually worried about that because like the Konrasu didn't seem to have anything cool, but then it was all in their background, so they're different options. It's like, man, you could make 5 different Konrasus and they'd all be different.
Here, space trees.
Yeah, space trees. Kind of seen a barbershop quartet in this character. Yeah, that could be fun.
Oh, that's what I should have done. Oh well.
I mean, they still wear straw hats.
I just like the idea that this guy travels around. And then when it gets like, if the town gets mad at him, he just turns into a different preacher.
A rite of reinforcement.
I do think cantrips in Pathfinder 2nd Edition are meant to be a lot weaker because you get 3 actions. You really are supposed to be using your character abilities, and the cantrips are just supposed to be like supplementary. But
But like a lot of spellcasters don't get spell or class features
interesting.
like how fighters do.
I mean, kinda. It, at least for what I've seen with Witch and Oracle, their class feature is unique spells.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's basically what. Like they don't get like a unique action. It's like, oh, I'm going to, I don't know, throw this knife and this happens. But it's just a lot of it is just all spells.
Dagon and Druid were, I don't want to say smack talking the rogue. They were talking about how they were kind of bummed out about it. And I was like, really? And I started looking into it, and I'm like, man, I'm amped up. I want to play a rogue now. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
I have to look into it, but yeah, I heard rogues at least very different.
yeah, they're definitely not the like the powerhouse early game damage dealers they were. But I think there's enough of different like archetypes in there that I think they really wanted to lean into the kind of the
I was going to say rogue archetype, but that's not the way to look at it. They are very much more of the,
Like utility.
yeah, utility out of combat spec. Like you're a smuggler at that point. Like you're not a highly combative person. If you want to do that, you need to build differently. But I think if you went rogue fighter, it would be really effective. Or if you went rogue, like assassin, if you specialized in assassin, then you would start getting some of those high damage things. But the rogue is really, I think, more for like RP play, or having that like it's a background. It's supposed to be more of a background than a class, which that could be interesting as something of like a way of augmenting character classes with different rogue archetypes. I want to play a D&D game where you can literally just be a barbershop quartet. You could do that. I did a one-shot
where we were all tailors. That was fun. It was for, I think that, I don't know if that was something our friend came up with or if that was something that they had planned to be for Fashion Week. It's a Fashion Week one shot. It was pretty fun. We fought a dragon. Not what I had expected to happen, but there you are. All right. I think that's pretty good. Boop, boop. All right, one more. Here we go. What time is it? 1:35. We're doing all right. We're doing all right on time.
I think I'm ready for another.
D10. Koi dancing mandragora wildfire druid. Koi dancing. I don't know any of these words. I know dancing. Dancing is a word.
That's what they're barking at. They heard his gun going off. So. Probably get a call here and.
Oh. Poi is a form of dancing where weights at the end of tethers are swung through rhythmical patterns. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. I think Corvus can unmute himself, but I don't know if he meant to mute himself or not.
I rolled a 2.
A 2.
Hello.
So, sorry, I gotcha. There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't muted.
No, I muted you because you were
Oh.
you were yelling something in the background. I didn't know if you wanted people to hear it or not.
Oh, I thought I turned off my mic for that. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. So I muted you. I just didn't know. Herringon monk with a dagger and an open jacket? That sounds suspicious. Mandragora. Is that a person? Oh boy. I think that's the race I'm supposed to draw. So we got a plant folk, dancer, druid. Alright. Here we go. Yeah, Ashy Brown. I guess that's what I'm drawing.
Mandrakes.
Mandrakes. I feel like I'm just going to draw a Korok here.
Yeah, sorry for yelling. I didn't realize that.
Nope, that's all right. I just muted you because I didn't know if you wanted that to be projected. So
Yeah, no, I did not want that.
yeah, that's fine. Wildfire druids are just like elemental druids, right? They use fire magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're also kind of the pet class for druids. Pet subclass.
Interesting.
Because they have a wildfire spirit they
Oh.
summon. And can have it fly around and
Mandragora. This filthy creature resembles a small, wide-mouthed fat child made from leaves, vine, tree barks, dirt, or pallid tubers.
It's a potato boy.
so literally the mandrakes from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because mandrake root does look like people in a way. It's like how ginseng looks like people.
I mean, that's where Mandrake gets its name.
Yeah.
Mandark.
Dee.
Dee. What?
You said Mandark.
Oh, yep. There we go. Sorry. I was wondering where I heard that before. What am I drawing? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm losing my mind. Oh well. F's in chat.
F's in chat for Rook Sanity.
Yep. I would probably play this character in D&D.
First time viewer here. Hello, Vagabond. How are you today?
Welcome in. We're drawing a Mandrake fire wildfire druid.
I'm sorry, this is your introduction
to the channel. Unless this is your character, in which case, here you go. I may not know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it as best I can.
Spicy potato.
Spicy potato.
Hot potato.
They call me Spicy Potato Boy.
Should I just have his head be on fire? That could be pretty funny.
I don't know what it is, but I always like that bit of like fire plants. It's a weird thing that doesn't make sense, but like I don't know.
I think that might be why. I think that might be why it's a fun idea, is because it doesn't make sense.
Tubers don't care.
Also, it may also have to do with the fact that I watched a lot of Ben 10 growing up, and one of his aliens was like a fire plant.
If you cook a potato, will it still grow if you put it in the ground?
I don't think
It
so.
might.
Maybe.
I assume not, but like, starch is starch, you know.
How thoroughly is it cooked?
Yeah, that's true. You put mashed potatoes in the ground, it's not going to grow it.
Maybe it would, though. Doing well. Hope to learn a thing or two about drawing while seeing some character art. Any tips for aspiring artists? Yeah, I mean,
I think the one people give a lot is just practice, practice, practice. My advice to that, though, is just set time aside for practice. Like, don't always have to work super hard. It's just good to get in the habit of doing it. That's my advice. Get a sketchbook, draw on it every day. A little bit if you have to, a lot if you can. A little bit every day. Lots of critique from people. We do have a Discord. If you want to come hang out with us and share your artwork with us, you're very welcome to. We have places for critiques as well as just sharing your art. You're welcome to ask questions there as well.
One addition I would personally add to the draw every day, which I do think is good advice. Also, don't get hung up on if you miss a day or even a block of time. Like it's not the end of the world.
I used to do a sketch day diary, and then all of a sudden I realized I hadn't drawn in it for 2 months. And it was like, how did that happen? Life gets away from you sometimes. I recently had gotten up to like day
2000 almost, I think. It was a lot. It was like 3.5 years I didn't miss a day. And then I played a really late game of D&D and just went to bed. And I completely forgot to draw that day. And I was like, no! And I was so distraught. I'm like, I'll just draw the next day. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. That's not the point. So I scratched out the day and I started over. Now I'm on day like 190 again. So, it doesn't, it's whatever you're doing,
just be true to yourself with it, I think is the thing. So like, if you want to try to commit to a sketch a day, try to commit to that. But, it's not the end of the world if you miss a day.
Yeah.
Some days I'll just I don't feel like drawing. But it's like, nope, I told myself I would do this. And so I'll do like quick practices or sketches or, like I've done days of just drawing circles. It's like, I'm just going to fill this page with circles just because that is practice. Like, that's good. It's good for you. Solid advice. Most have been drawing kobolds because I love little dudes. Where might I find the Discord? There should be a link down below in the comments. And yeah. If you draw kobolds, there are many people here that love the kobolds, so you should be in good company. I'm gonna give him a little loincloth because I think it's funny. My
It should be a
sprouts.
little leaf-shaped one.
Should just make it a leaf. I can do that.
We all have come up with two very different ideas with this. So you said loincloth, Burning said leaf. In my head, it needs to be a pot with holes broken out at the bottom.
I thought you were going to say it's a pot leaf.
No.
Like he's just got a ceramic pot around his junk, or he's
Yeah,
just
like
sitting in it.
Like he grew in it, and then when he spreaded legs, he just pressed it out.
When you said that, I instantly thought of like he grew in this pot, and then like this is him now. He's like, yay! It's like that's not appropriate at all.
Oh.
What you got there? Oh, it's just my junk pot. It holds my junk. Let's see what Hash Brown said. You could fill the internet with kobolds, and only most of the devout gnome mains would complain. That's fair. That is fair.
I don't complain.
Not devout enough. You gotta.
Apparently. That's only if you subscribe to the weird Forgotten Realms lore.
Yeah. I kind of want to make these on fire. I mean, they're supposed to be on fire. It's just like, I don't know how to draw that. Maybe we do this. There we go. We'll make it up.
Are these supposed to be like poi?
Yeah, they are. There's a poi dancer, was the suggestion. Wah! Just rage. Rage spin fireballs.
I remember when I don't know what they called it, but Sam Riegel and Liam would go out and do weird stuff, and they did fire dancing with poi with Marisha.
Nice.
And it was terrifying.
I didn't see that one. I saw them go goat yogaing. And I saw them do chainsaw sculpting, and I was like, this is a bad idea. Like, this is just a bad idea. Just don't do this. Okay. I think that is our poi fire starter. Wildfire druid.
Fire starter.
I am a tree and I will burn the world.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the only sound this character would make. It's just.
Oh, the noises I make. I made upset my cat.
Oh no.
She started yelling at me.
I must think that you're making fun of them.
I think she's more upset that I woke her up.
Tough.
I'm just gonna expect you to like roll up with a druid in our next Pathfinder session, Rook, playing a Leshy.
One of the pot in the corner of the room that normally has the Konrasu standing in is just kind of a tiny shrub. Oh no. It's coming.
There's another one. I need to burn it quick before it starts judging me.
Down with the undead! All aberrant minds are terrible minds. A flame paladin would be pretty good. A flame paladin Leshy.
Well, there is a flame druid.
Is that different than the
Second edition.
wildfire? Oh, okay. Yeah. Second edition, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm the potato, like, that's gonna burn life's house down with lemons. What's y'all favorite race to play as or to use in the world as a DM?
I'm a big fan of humans. I love human characters. The customization with them is fun, and it's just I like fitting in with the world. Yeah, I don't know. I just like doing it. I like doing it that way. I don't play a lot of other races, to be honest. I've played a few kobolds, an elf or two.
Currently playing a tree.
I'm currently playing a tree, yeah, in Pathfinder. I have played a few trees too, but I play a lot of humans.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't like fitting into the world.
That's totally legit.
Yeah. My favorite are tieflings. Although it's weird in Pathfinder since they're not a race, they're like a modifier to a race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little template.
Which I haven't messed around with, but it does seem pretty cool.
I've been seeing a lot of like hobgoblin tieflings popping up on my feed for some reason. Which I super dig. They look really cool. I think I'm done.
I think it also... Or go ahead.
No, I gotta put this down. I'll just keep drawing.
Oh. I was gonna say, I think that method makes a lot more sense than 5e, where a tiefling is just a tiefling.
Yeah. 5e... I was thinking about this earlier, and... This is a long conversation that was about something totally different, but it was about racism and just like how we classify racism versus like just being kind of an asshole or being disrespectful to something. And my thought kept going back to like, if you say something like all something is this way, it's racist. Like it was specifically when you're talking about people. Because you could say something like all men or all women, like it's the same kind of concept. And so with tieflings, like, well, all tieflings are this way. It's like that's not right. But if that is your only point of information about them, which is the case of D&D, it just means the person that wrote that information was narrow scoped, right? Like they didn't have enough information. They weren't a good researcher to write a book about this. So
Yeah, Volo.
Yeah, Volo, exactly. That's where I was getting with it. So like Volo had a very narrow perspective of tieflings because he only saw them from this one city. And he's just like, all the tieflings I encountered were this way. And so, like, if that's the only information you have to go on, that's information that you can go on, but you can't make a judgment of every tiefling that's ever existed because it's just not the case. Your scope is wrong. So, so I think moving forward with D&D, like that's how you avoid the racist tropes with creating fantasy characters. It's just like be aware of the scope of the information you have. The only time those things can come into play is if like you're playing something that is absolute. Like Modrins, right? Modrins are supposed to be these lawful
neutral robot people.
Right.
they are created to be that way, and if they are deviations of that, they are no longer Modreds, and that's fine. Like, but that's the idea. So, scope, information, understanding those things are important. Quick question: are we allowed to submit requests for what the artists draw here, or is it purely what you feel like drawing? Yeah, Vagabond, you are allowed to submit things. It's just a D&D character, race and class, and we put it on the list, and I'm about to roll the dice to see what the next thing I draw is. So if you have a suggestion, I will put it on the thing for you. I usually play humans, but I'm partial to Sirniblin. Zephs, I don't know what Zephs are. Gloomlings, Hobgoblins, and Sylphs. Those are all really good. I like something all over the place. I'm a fan of unique concepts. I like Troxes, but I never play them. Probably should. Bye! Oops, that was the Galoma Wasteland. I didn't erase it. An Asimar Gloomstalker, ranger multi-class with a cleric with some Egyptian features and face paint. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Asimar Gloomstalker. Yeah, just type it out here in YouTube chat and I'll throw it on the list for you.
I'm getting into Gloomstalkers. I've had a few people play them now. They're pretty neat.
I mean, they are one of the more well put together ranger subclasses.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because they're like, there was a whole, the Gloomstalker is a creature. And so they had a lot to build on for the sub race, and I really think that that's the way to go in the future. Like, really try to fill a niche of like a monster or a class, something that I think can be like wholeheartedly kind of built into the character.
Gloomstalker could be really cool for fighters too, like that kind of stuff. I think the subclasses are really something that needs to be built on more as a overarching thing, which is kind of what the Pathfinder prestige classes are, which I like. Way back when I was playing Pathfinder, I made a Kashtha multi-weapon fighter. It was a beast. Is that the guys with 4 arms? Those guys are pretty cool. Kobold Phoenix Soul Sorcerer. Really leaning into the fire. Yeah, cool. I'll add that to the list.
The one sorcerer class that didn't get made through.
What program are you using? Head, we are using Aggie.io.
It is a free browser-based whiteboard application. Yeah, it's Chrome-based, I think. I could be wrong about that. I just realized if you're an SMR Gloomstalker and your halo keeps turning on. Dang. Have the, what is it, the Tom Clancy syndrome, where it's just always those 3 green glowing dots in the darkness.
Good old Splinter Cell.
Group on Splinter Cell of the game. Could just be nostalgic moving through this. So, yeah, that's true.
I think I'm ready to roll again.
Okay.
What are we at?
D7. So roll the D8 and reroll 8s.
Oh, we're getting down.
Yeah, getting down there. Pretty good.
Three.
3.
Dwarf Centaur half-breed. Sorcerer, who has wild conjuration summoning powers. He's not in complete control over. Not control over that. Wild conjuring summoning powers. So a dwarf centaur sorcerer that conjures and summons stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff in that sentence. It's great.
Shetland pony.
Shetland pony, I like it.
Because he's a dwarf centaur.
That makes sense to me. Brian says, lean and tall purple tiefling paladin with a mason, buckler, and shield. Spike on his worn armor could be cool. Spikes. We'll add it to the list.
Asmars probably don't have big pointy ears. I think they should have pointy ears, but
I feel kind of the same way about Asmar as I do Tiefling, where it makes more sense to be an addition to another race.
I agree. Have I told you guys about my want to play like a knife or a spear ranger? I think that would be really fun.
Thrown or melee?
Yeah, thrown. Yeah, it'd be fun to make a throwing ranger.
I think that's a cool idea.
Oh, did we lose Corvus?
Uh-oh.
Whole party of spears and shield phalanx party. That could be really fun.
I want more face paint. I don't think that was the way to do it.
We'll go a little cyberpunk, why not?
I mean, it's a really cool look.
So in Cyberpunk, is everyone's skin just fake?
It can be. Like, fake skin is pretty like reliable.
Okay.
But not everyone has fake skin. And not every, like, even, like, it's not necessarily a full replacement either.
Yes, yeah, they don't really explain a lot of like how much of people can be like, just have a robot body, or is like, do they just replace your bones? Like the main character looks like they have robotic hands, I would assume.
Main character of are you talking about Edge Runners?
Yeah. Well, the Edge Runners
Or,
too,
like-
but like from the video game. So they've got like
They're like it gets weird because like you can get add-ons to like things put in your hand that don't necessarily replace your hands, or you can fully replace your hands as well. Like the options are all over the place.
the art style specifically, like the blending of the two is bonkers. Like it's just looking at it, it's really hard to tell what is fake and what isn't, which I think is like probably the point of the game, right? Like it's supposed to have that
Yeah.
that uncanny valley, which is interesting. I'll tell you.
It's been a while since I've looked at it, but I remember. I seem to remember the cost of different augmentations in the like tabletop game. A separate cost from like different stats was like how much it looks like a person, like
Okay.
how natural it looks. So like really cheap augments are going to be super obvious, or you can pay a lot of money to get them basically hidden.
That's cool. I like that. I'm gonna give her a halo. I think it's funny. Ooh, can you imagine a Gloomstalker with the wings, though? That would be terrible. It's like sitting in the dark and then whoa.
That would be pretty terrifying.
A shadow demon.
I guess you could argue angels often are terrifying, so
There's been
that makes sense.
I keep getting these. Somebody on YouTube with YouTube Shorts made like a biblically accurate angel sim in Blender.
Oh.
So it's just like blah, 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 blah. And then they've just been compositing it into different like wide screens or wide shots of things, of landscapes. And that's it. It's just like 20 or 30 seconds of just like primal chaos just floating across the mountains, and it's like, man, that's messed up.
Oh. I heard an interesting take on why some scholars think depictions of angels in the Bible were so like esoteric and like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was essentially they wanted to try and bring people away from more like animalistic, shamanistic beliefs. So, no, it wasn't a bird that flew down from heaven that you're now going to try and equate birds to. It's this unknowable thing because God isn't an animal.
That's kind of cool. I like that idea. Well, I mean, I say that, but I like the animal spirits. But that's an interesting way to look at it. Just like,
No, it's not a bird.
I like that. I like that someone had to have that conversation. His hand is in the wrong spot. His arm is very bad. Very broken. Doop. Should be over here. Oh, Aggie, you don't cut things out very well.
The vast majority of angels in scriptures are described as sexy, glowing humans. It's a couple of abstract visions of angels that people get biblically accurate angels trope from. Interesting.
I'm a big fan of the like things from higher planes people aren't supposed to see. But I also like the idea that angels were created first, so they only have like the billboard filter or the billboard.
Every time someone tries to describe biblically accurate angels to me, it reminds me of seeing like World of Warcraft with all of the textures turned on at all times. It's like they have the shader. There we go. Angels were created first before humans, before they got the shaders right. So they're just like blah, 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 kind of glitching through the universe.
Don't fear me, brother. He's like, oh God. I think there was supposed to be some Egyptian stuff in this, and I forgot and then didn't think about how to put it in. So I have no idea where to go with that.
I'm just gonna go your route of making something look like a sorcerer and give them lots of tattoos.
That's the way to do it. I was talking in Discord about why sorcerers don't have summoning magic. I started doing some digging. Apparently the summoning spells are supposed to be based off of like arcane knowledge and like summoning circles, and it's supposed to be a thing of known things, not like spread through the bloodlines. But I was like, you could be some sort of like Fey prince or Fey royalty that would just have Fey servants. You could summon them. So I don't see why you couldn't do some form of bloodline lineage. But if you did that, you might want to take like, it might be a warlock thing, where you would play a sorcerer but you use the warlock spell list, because you're just like relying on the power of your Fey creatures or Fey subjects, I guess. So I don't know. That could be interesting. I'd like to see how that would play out if you were a warlock with a ton of spell slots. But sorcerers and warlocks are weird to me because they feel like additive things instead of whole classes.
That feels like I feel like 5th edition has quite a few of those, honestly.
Yeah. What time is it here? 2:16. I think we're probably good to call it here. How are you doing, Bernie? How long do you think till you finish up on that?
Probably just a few minutes.
Sure.
Rough
Some
in this
shading
horse.
and we'll call it. If you didn't get your thing drawn today, I'll probably be back on Friday to finish up the list. Otherwise, you can wait for next week and resubmit it if you'd like. If you haven't checked out the new Hero Points video, I highly recommend it. Go check that out. Leave me a comment on the video. Try to get YouTube to pick it up and actually send it to people. That'd be nice. There's a lot of people that are subscribed to the channel that just haven't seen it, which is a bummer. So yeah. Yuki, hello. We're getting ready to finish up for the day, but welcome in. If you have something you'd like to add to the list, we can pick it up on Friday. We're still probably doing some more drawings there. Yeah, Hero Points. Go check them out. If you have questions about Hero Points, leave me a question in the comment there. I do want to start making more shorts. I just don't know what short content to do. Besides rugby just screaming wildly into the internet. Which maybe that's what people want. Maybe people just want screaming rugbies. For everybody who did suggest one today, thank you for your submission. I liked them all so far. We will try to pick the rest of them up on Friday. That's all I got. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. I feel like there's something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of it. Check out the Discord down below. Check out Burning. Are you streaming on Twitch yet? Again?
Not yet.
Not yet? Alright, well, eventually we'll promote your channel. Hang out on Discord, share your D&D stories, your characters. That's all I got. That's all I got today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to stay happy, keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch you next time. Let's see if we can find anybody to raid, because that's a new thing that YouTube is trying to do, but there's never anybody to raid. So we'll see if it happens. See if we can work. Find somebody. Recording, languages, tags, paid promotion. No. It's doing that thing again where it won't let me actually do the thing it wants me to do. There it is. Yeah. Uh-oh. So How to D&D is going to have a live stream, but he's got 2 set up, and I don't know which one is coming up next. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll try to redirect to this. We'll see what happens, but yeah. However, it shows looks like a goat. That's true. The Goatatar. I like Goatatar. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was trying to put together dwarf and goat, and you get like dote or gorf. A Gorfatar. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time. We'll see you on Friday. Have a good one. Bye.